KitBash with Web C and Andrew the Wicked Wookie.
If I wanted to get, because I actually bought the Pale Rider Cavalry and the Pale Rider D2 Titans, and it kind of took me a while to decide whether or not I wanted them or not. Hang on, let me get my earbuds on. I'm gonna step outside.
Yeah, the Advances Zeta kits are pretty good. This is the cheapest one I bought for $23, so it's what they paid. Yeah. I was gonna show this and that went off after a while.
Nice.
I brought some extra things, a little bit, just a few. I rotate what I'm showing, I guess.
But so what about you guys? How was your week, Hiko?
I was busy actually, quite busy. I haven't done any cleaning on a kit for a full week now, so I'm just now getting the cleaning, and I got some tools and stuff. I'll show you. I think I have seam glue, sanding, and I have some chisels I have to use to clean up with, and I'll show you guys those. Those are pretty cheap.
Oh,
They're
cool.
like $6. I think that's really it, honestly. And besides just tons of parts left over right here in this bin. Yeah, that's just, I have to get these clean. Plus these in the background too.
Yeah. So the guy, hang on.
Pounds in paint. I gotta order. I think I have like $80 worth of paint I need. Maybe 40, maybe $40 for the paint.
For the two guys who just recently joined up, here's part of what here's gonna be my KitBash, or at least part of it. I'm just waiting on one more. I'm just waiting on one more kit to arrive.
I think there's a resin backpack you can buy, and there's also third-party option 1/44 scale.
Oh.
Yeah, those are pretty easy to get. That's if you want the flight form pack for the swords, or the Delta pack also.
So we should pretty much be done.
Hey Watson, it sounds like a restaurant there. Is that your place? It sounds like a restaurant.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Probably
It
a
sounds like a restaurant a little bit.
I can hear dishes and stuff clinking together. I was curious.
No, you're fine. It's just we've got company. We've got company over, family, friends.
Good
So
time.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious. I hear sounds, and I'm able to place the sound where it's coming from. Like it is. I'm really good at that. It's like name that sound. A little bit of it.
Yeah, no, you're fine. But yeah, no, we got family friends. We got family friends over. So my mom and my parents are talking to their friends, and of course my sister and her daughter are more than likely in bed, and I'm probably gonna sweat in here in about 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, you got some new kits to snap, so that's pretty good.
But yeah, I'm back in the garage, and like I said, I'm probably gonna sweat in about 10-15 minutes or so.
That's right. Get back in your hole. No.
Yep.
Hey, watch it. I'm not one of those locusts from Gears of War.
Don't hurt you to lose a few pounds. You just go sweat some of that off there. Drink water. You'll be all right.
I drink water.
The military is a big joke because they always make us carry canteens, right? And if for any ailment, you drink water and you eat ibuprofen. Yeah,
ibuprofen?
Eat ibuprofen, drink water. It'll solve everything. I got my leg blown off. Eat ibuprofen, drink water.
Probably got a good valid point there, actually.
Oh my gosh.
Legitimate.
Yeah, I just I'm excited. I'm looking forward to getting my base blue frame tomorrow, but I also got tools that I left behind at my brother's house down in Panama City, so I gotta make sure I text my brother gotta make sure I text him tomorrow. Hey, don't forget that Pale Rider box that's got my 2 Pale Riders with their BFGs and my tools.
Right.
We could probably talk about tools too, because a lot of the time there's also good bargain tools for custom mods, and we could probably just look at a few, maybe name a few. I've been looking at 2 websites, Midwest Hobbies and Hobby Nito, which has counterpart brands to Display Hobby Tools.
Okay.
So those are 2 we can look at. I know a few I can name later on.
One of the
Yeah, go
tools I
ahead.
got looks like nail clippers because they got a little edge to them.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm also kind of thinking if I need to find. I'm also kind of wondering if I should get like a little cuticle, like cutters for like cuticles, for something like try and do like more precision cuts.
I personally, this is my opinion, but I don't even like I said earlier, when it comes to like taking the parts off a screw, I can chew that shit off, and then I will use my files to get the final finish. I see what you're saying, that it could maybe give you some more precision, but I never see myself using anything else other than my one primo set of nippers for my final cut. But when I'm just nipping parts out, I've got a junk set of Gundam Planet ones I use, and then I'll go back and
Those are
fine
good.
tune. I just don't find any need for small nail clippers or anything like that. They don't get the job done for me. They're not sharp enough. The material that they're made of is not hard enough and doesn't hold an edge very long. So I find it to be not really. It's not useful unless that is the only tools you have, and it works. But I don't recommend them as addition tools or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Personally.
Yeah. I mean, I know the other mic uses really just uses the Godhand nippers after he snips the parts off a certain length because he doesn't want to just constantly use the God hands for every single cut. He just uses it as part of that second cut.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I do. The 2-cut process, you rough cut it, and then you get your final cut, real close to the part, and then I'll do whatever grinding or sanding, or I'll pull out a hobby knife and cut if I have to. On the nub stresses the plastic, and that white effect goes down into the plastic versus just cutting it off.
Mm-hmm.
Which kits are you working on? The HG or MG or high resolution?
I'm working HG 1/144 scale.
Is it premium or like just
no.
to get item?
The red frame inversion is going to be HG BD, or I'm not sure how the battle log's considered. I'm not sure if they're like HDB BF or HGBD or HDBL.
Oh, it doesn't matter,
But yeah, no.
You can go with whatever you want.
Yeah. But also, as I was explaining to, I'm trying to say, it's Carrie, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. As I was explaining to Carrie, there are certain parts that I have to do with my KitBash that I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna take the black armor, the black and gray armor, and I'm gonna stick that on the blue frame instead of using it for the red frame, and because I want to do like a custom like a KitBash custom suit, and I needed those specific kits.
I've done that before.
But the problem is that since I'm going to be using the base blue frame, the front inner shoulder parts have a bigger thing in which you stick the parts on, like the shoulder armor on, and the black armor from the red frame inversion isn't gonna work unless I either sand down that base blue frame inner shoulder, or take the front inner shoulder parts from the blue frame second L and just kind of try to see if I can mate those together.
Are you gonna paint it?
I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure.
Oh, I see. Because if you're gonna paint over it, you don't need to worry about all this, you know? Like about stretch marks, you just paint it over and it's all gone. But
Exactly.
if you're not gonna paint it, then it's a different story.
Right.
Also,
That frame's easy to paint. You have two
and it
frames.
also depends on the value of your kit. You know, like if it is a very expensive kit, then I recommend using the Godhead nipper. But if it is like easy to get, like cheap kits, then you might not have to, waste your blade on a premium blade on a kit like that,
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
like Tamiya premium nipper is good enough for ordinary kits.
Yeah, I know. I know when I bought the two Pale Riders, because I got the Pale Rider Cavalry, and like I said, I got the Pale Rider D2 Titans. I used like a fingernail cutters, and Mike Webb C, he had recommended to me that I use glass nail files for sanding down.
Oh yeah, gun primer, right?
Yeah, and
yeah, I have one too.
I actually took his advice and actually bought them. And when I was building my Pale Rider suits, I found out those things worked, and I've actually come to love those.
I see.
But the two Pale Rider suits that I bought were P Bandai, and I know I had to treat. They were P Bandai, and they were pretty a bit expensive. I think the Pale Rider Cavalry was the more expensive one, but the D2 Titans was like $77, and the Pale Rider Cavalry was close to $85. But well, I also bought them on Amazon, so yeah, that was me being kind of being.
Yeah, Amazon is kind of expensive.
Well, I also had like $250 of gift card amount on Amazon too.
Nice.
Well, I will say that I was so tempted by wanting to get Mirage frame, the 1/100 no grade Mirage frame. I wanted that so bad. Hell, I still want it.
Yeah, just order it directly from the premium Bandai. It's the cheapest option. Yeah.
Or look around at the retailers that we do know and keep your eye on it, but it probably would never stay around very long. You would never be able to watch the price drop before somebody had already bought it, or you know what I mean? It would never last long enough. You have to probably go, like he said, directly to P Bandai to get it and get the best cost.
Yeah.
You have to, You always have to buy from them directly.
I was also doing house sitting for my brother when he and his family went to Maine, and I was lucky that they said yes, that I could order and have those kits and my tool and the brand new tools sent to their house. Otherwise, I would have had to wait for about 2 weeks until I got back from house sitting with my brother.
Yeah, that's kind of the ordeal.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted something to do that wasn't playing video games all day, and so
Yeah.
This is a good time killing hobby.
yeah.
Easier on the eyes too, you know.
Yeah, it is. I think the longest build that I ever did was actually the base Gundam Astray gold frame.
Oh yeah, that one was good.
Yeah. I think I spent, I don't know, 6-8 hours building that thing. And it was high grade 1/144 scale, and I was being as fussy as I could with all the details, like trying to get all the nubs out and trying to sand all the nubs out, trim, and
You get stuck in that. Yeah.
I don't feel bad because I've got up to 20 hours in just a single RG kit. I've got a couple HD kits. I've got easily 15 hours in. I'm like, wow, but that's because I was working at an incredibly slow pace. But
Yeah.
still, but that's a modest number for the time that I put into it. Yeah, it seems like a little overkill, but that's just me, I guess, going slow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would like to see, like, just out of curiosity, thinking what it would take for me to build a kit like that now, if I could speed build, because I've gotten, much better. But I just remember at times, having, 10, 15 hours easily in a kit.
Yeah, you can actually speed build a high grade and paint it in 6 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
I've done multiple kits in 6 hours. In one day, we snap it, clean it, and paint it. If you paint it on the runner, you can paint it in roughly 4 hours, actually.
Right. No, I'm really interested in that idea of painting on the runner. I've got some ideas I want to test out on that. Because I definitely want to panel line on the runner and then clip them out and go with that maybe. Or
yeah, so this
I've got a couple different ideas by doing that and then try to like half-ass top coat it and then cut it out and then kind of clean it up a little bit and then it's ready for another top coat if needed.
Mm-hmm.
So we did this and painted everything on the runner and just assembled it basically. We didn't.
Nice.
Yeah, I
didn't
think
do much to it.
I actually tried doing. I think I was gonna try and do something like that with one of my dagger L's because I wanted to do a dagger L in the colors for Mula Flaga's Mobius Zero mobile armor. So, and I mean, I still want to try and get that project finished. But of course, I gotta. Well, sorry, Mom. But sorry about that.
Dude, don't be sorry. For as long as you guys are going to know me, as long as we do this, what I do in real life is I'm a life coach. So, like right off the rip, don't be sorry. When somebody does that, I appreciate it, and it's cordial when when you have to apologize, but don't ever feel bad for having things that are important or priorities that go by. We're all old enough to understand that, but it's
Glad I got to see you.
much appreciated.
Yeah. Oh yes.
I think my priorities are just sanding a kit for eternity. Honestly, cannot get past that.
He's like on zombie mode. I'm just in standing mode. I don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
I can't. I'm gonna buy an
Yes,
ultrasonic sanding tool just because of this problem. I'm so tired of the seam lines. Every single kit, Esagawa, Bandai, Kotobukiya, all seam lines everywhere.
At the level that you are, I mean, because you're at a very high level. Because I look at them when I build them, and I hate the seam lines. It makes me mad. But my skill level isn't high enough just yet that I can do it confidently and quickly, and then be able to display it. So I keep testing and learning to do it. But I know exactly what you mean, man. When you get good at that, it's work, but it is quality and it's worth it.
Yeah, especially on the bigger kits, it gets kind of tedious.
Right.
Normal. Yeah.
So you're using the what is it called? The cement to like the melt the parts together to remove the seam lines.
Yeah,
That's what you're talking about?
I do that a lot. Yeah. Just
Oh,
because
really?
Kotobukiya has a lot of seam lines on their kits.
I see.
Hey,
Armored Core, Zoids kits,
have you
have
guys seen my gym?
stuff like
Have
that.
you guys seen my gym custom A-Yug?
Is that the movie colors from the new translation?
Yeah.
I saw those glimpse ones. Those are so cool. They had the
But-
yeah, I remember that.
But I actually hand painted all the parts that were
Oh yeah.
well, and if you take a look at the shoulders, you can actually see that I was painting the shoulders too. And then I was like, maybe I shouldn't be painting the shoulders. Try and keep it as close to original as I can.
I think that's what I'm gonna try to do with this Master Grade Jesta. I want to put a camouflage on it, but I think I'm gonna go with a simple color palette so I can just add a couple of tones of gray on top of the blue armor and leave it at that. Nothing special, no repaint. Just add tones of gray camouflage onto the armor. I think.
That sounds interesting.
I really need to pay somebody to build my kits for me.
My purple shirt's in the laundry room.
Right. I'm not like this
Yeah.
minute,
Oh, okay.
and I don't want to sit in there right now, so.
Sick. Where did I?
So I'm gonna switch camera views to the desk. Then I'm gonna keep going on that. And I'll probably show you these two later on after I switch the views.
Awesome.
Oh, Mom.
Okay, I fixed the tripod mount actually. Might have been uh-oh, that is not right. Is that upside down for your camera?
It is
Yeah.
upside down. I was
That is impressive.
I was a little twisted there for a second.
Yeah, okay, I have a malfunction. Yeah, I don't know how to fix that.
We're living room upside down.
Me?
No, Hiko, just turn your room upside down and your camera will be okay.
This is not okay. Wait, this is not okay. Hold on, wait.
Yeah, I tried to put my earbuds in, but the only problem is that I'll end up speaking louder if I have the earbuds in.
So Hiko's having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, that's
He'll be back. Here he is. Here he comes.
Oh.
You're upside down, buddy.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know.
I know this is going to sound really stupid, but can you turn your camera at all, or is it just how it attaches to the mount?
Yeah, I have no idea. This is weird. I could just do like an upside down work in progress video. I mean, I'm not gonna say no.
We all just got to turn their heads real hard.
I'm surprised Web C Michael is not here, unless he's hosting it somewhere.
No, he's
anniversary night.
Yeah, it's his
yeah.
Day night.
it's his 12th wedding anniversary, and he was so instructed by the significant other that if he was building plastic robots on his anniversary, that she may have to turn his man pieces into soup.
Ooh. Yikes.
I can't say that my wife wouldn't
I
say
don't
the
blame
same to me.
I don't blame him. No waves in my house. If there are, I'm serving them.
You know, it's kind of funny. My wife is I'm 6'3" and like 275, 280 ish. My wife is like 4'9" and like maybe 105 pounds soaking wet. She is by 100%. There we go.
There you go. Much
Yeah,
better.
okay. I have no idea what's going on.
But as I was saying, my wife is 4'9" and about 105 pounds soaking wet, and there is no denying it. She is the boss of this house. She is little, but she is scary. Do not anger the little ones.
Yep, absolutely not. I mean, just look at the Chihuahuas, man. They go nose to pit bull. They don't give a shit. You don't fuck with the small ones. They're tenacious.
Yeah, that's the standing joke. She's the pit chihuahua, the size of a chihuahua, the bark of a pit bull.
Right.
And she's in the
So what
other.
kind of build you guys got going on?
I am just working on some custom paint for my Mark II.
Ooh,
It's kind of a
Okay, that's interesting.
just
that looks nice.
it's
That's
nothing.
awesome. I love the Mark II. It's an awesome platform.
Yeah, it's nothing special. Like there's no mods to this kit. I just did some custom paint, and that's what I'm plugging away on for the moment.
Hmm.
Might pull my heavy arms kit out later, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
That buster you have, is that an HG buster?
No, that is a RE 100, no grade.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. So it is a 1/100 scale though.
It is a 1/100 scale, but it's a no grade. So
Okay.
it was I was able to pick that one up for about $25. So it was kind of a steal.
Not too bad for the
Not
price.
bad.
Especially for high grades cost nowadays. They get so expensive. I
Well,
just bought actually another kit.
and I would say, and let me clarify, that's $25 Canadian. So for you guys, that would have been about
Right.
like $15 US.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cheap.
Yeah. So
There's that conversion up there in the British Columbia.
yeah, the exchange rate for the Canadian dollar is about $1.65 ish. So for
Okay, yeah.
$1 US is like $1.65 Canadian.
That's not bad.
This is
No,
weird
that's
because
bad.
filing
That's
clauses
really
and
bad.
Uh,
I mean, good for you guys if you come up here because your money goes a hell of a lot further. Bad for me
Right,
because
exactly. If my plan is to go to Mexico, make that shit go like 4 or 5 times as far.
absolutely.
You go fishing. You go find a boat and go out and catching tuna.
Yep.
Right.
Do that.
I'm gonna go live
Stay
in
cool in the
Mexico.
ocean in the summer. That's easy. Bring enough water and shade. You can sit out in the ocean all summer long catching fish in Mexico.
Yep.
Yeah.
oh,
That's one
my
thing
par-
we just forget about North America, really.
Realistically,
oh my parents have been to Mexico like 3-4 times already. They've been to the Dominican Republic 2-3 times.
Good coffee. We got some from there.
Yeah.
still the best coffee I've ever had has still got to be authentic Hawaiian Kona coffee because
Okay, I've heard that too, but I've also heard a good like Lebanese or Turkish coffee from
that is
Turkey
very, very
is
good.
amazing.
Good stuff. Yeah, oil, really good oil in their coffee. Colombian beans too. South
Yep,
America.
yep, Colombian, good
Good
Colombian
stuff.
coffee.
Yeah, cannot go wrong with that.
And what it is, we drink like in the States, man. We drink that, like every morning by the potful. And the reality of it was a delicacy. You didn't drink a whole bunch of coffee every single day, all day long. So it was a very nice treat. And then here in the Western world, we go to Starbucks or we go to the gas station and buy them by the fistful, cold brew, nitro, whatever.
Yeah.
But it used to be, it was a very special thing to get a nice cup of coffee or espresso.
See, I have
It's
friends.
taking away the panache of it all.
I have friends in the Canadian Forces who every time they go down stateside, like when our Navy guys go down stateside for workups or whatever, and they're in Pearl, they go out to one of the local markets and they buy me like 1 or 2 pounds of fresh beans that they bring back on board ship, and they bring it back here for me.
Nice.
So,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, my dad does pretty good with when he actually roasts and grinds his own coffee beans most of the time.
Nice.
And he's had Jamaican Blue Mountain, he's had Kenyan Double A coffee. I mean,
That's what our show
Ethiopian.
needs. We need to have coffee, like actual coffee. We need to be all drinking coffee when the show starts.
Right. I'm that guy. I need a
I'm
regular
totally
coffee.
good with that.
I need like 4 creams, 4 sugars. I'm done.
Oh, trust me, I'd be drinking a little bit of coffee with my liquid creamer and 3 things of Splenda.
Goodness, I feel like
I could
that's
really
overkill.
be Canadian and sit here with a Tim Hortons cup if you want. I have their mugs in my cupboard, so
Nice.
This is what I'm doing right now. I'm doing nail sharpening. So there's the original right there. I marked at the edge.
Mhm.
Here's the
Okay.
new one. So
Heiko, can you
I
get
need to sharpen it a little more.
a little closer in? I'm really okay. There we go. Now I can see. Thank you.
There we go.
So I gotta sharpen this one some more.
Yeah.
It has to be like super nail file sharp.
Okay.
Sorry,
Oh,
Heike. I wasn't this.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
The camera doesn't focus very well.
yeah, it just wasn't coming through on my side very well. So
Just don't hurt your fingers while doing that.
Yeah.
Looks sharp enough to penetrate your skin. I mean, the claws,
So, this is just tedious work, and I have to find fluorescent paints for these pieces since they're energy-based weapons.
Oh,
So I gotta figure out what colors. I think it's gonna glow gold. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do at least gold and a clear UV on top of it.
ooh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a white UV on top of the gold, so that way black light will make it shine.
Mhm.
Right.
There's people in the Zoids group posting detail work with effects using those colors and fluorescence, especially the ones I talked about last time. I think I'm gonna go with gold this time around.
I like it. That's gonna be
Yeah.
unique. It's gonna be different.
I've never seen fluorescent gold color in my life.
I think it's
Oh.
one of the clear UV colors you put over top coat now that glows.
Yeah. Yep.
It's that one. There's a few brands that have it. Gaia has it, Mr. Color has it, and a few other
Yep.
people. I think
If you
Neo
get the
Color
right-
has it.
If you get the right color and then you coat it, you get the base color kind of shows through with the reaction, so you can get really cool color effects. I've seen.
I think that's the idea. Yeah.
So are you
So
guys
I got a lot of work to get there.
interested in
Oh, I
seeing
wish
what
I had
my my daughter KitBash together? You might have seen the
Yep.
post on the group.
Sure, why not?
So as I might have mentioned, my 13-year-old daughter has decided to try gunpla. So we got her an entry grade strike Gundam, and she decided to KitBash a backpack for it.
Oh wow.
So she wanted a backpack. She grabbed an old knockoff kit that I had kicking around and started messing around with it. And this is what she came up with. So I'm pretty impressed with it.
That's awesome. Good creativity.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, so then this is her strike. That's the color. But it actually just friction fits right onto the back of the strike and sits on.
Oh, okay.
And just
Oh,
sits
I
on
see.
nice and snug like that.
Looks like the backpack is from the sword, a sword impulse Gundam. Is it?
It is a sword impulse Gundam, but it was a knockoff brand kit, and she's
Ah,
I saw
and
that posted.
yeah, I was
painted up. Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna we'll fill the line, like there's some pretty bad seam lines that need to be cleaned up and stuff like that, but we'll go in there and we'll clean it up and pretty it up. But this was her doing this additional shield piece. These are some of the leg skirts. Basically, it's a junk kit that I said go ahead, have at it. You know, take whatever parts you want, and this is what she's come up with. So I'm pretty impressed.
Not a bad idea.
looks
Oh,
neat.
speaking of which,
That's really good.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to do another master grade build later on. I don't know when I have time for it, but I'm probably going to give it to somebody as a free giveaway. I'm
Really?
going to buy the Calamity sword conversion for the resin kit for the 1/100 into the RE Reborn 100 Calamity, and just put the sword pack on from the resin kit.
Now you know there's a full metal build. I think it's a full metal build Ale Calamity Gundam, right?
I might have seen it. Is it 172 Mosho?
No, I think it's a 1/100. Well, I don't. It might not be a full metal build,
Oh,
but I do know that there's an Ale Calamity Gundam.
Yeah. I've heard of Calamity Gundam, but I'm not really sure if it is metallic or not.
you know, I like watching the Gundam Seed movies a lot. Not the actual show. I can't watch the remastered. I watch the movie though. It's so short. It's less annoying, I guess.
What movie?
The Gundam Seed movies.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
Those ones are shorter cuts. Yeah.
Honestly, I've actually seen the HG Sword Calamity kit on eBay, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this actually real? And it's got
I
like
want
the
the resin
deep.
kit, yeah.
Oh no! This is HD 1/144 scale.
Oh, that one.
But I think the instructions come in like DVD format.
Damn.
They're coming out with DVDs for instruction manuals now.
I can't even imagine if there's any kind of speaking in it. I mean, obviously, we're not gonna understand.
No, I'm not kidding. Go on eBay, type in Sword Calamity Gundam, and you will find HG 1/144 scale Sword Calamity Gundam.
Somebody
Kit.
in one of the groups just posted
Yeah, there's resin casters that done them, and there's also Dengeki Hobby sprue part kits that were released that were limited.
right, but somebody had
those.
posted it was like I don't even know what it was. It was some off-brand kit of a full cloth X1, but it was unique. It was really unique.
Hmm.
I
I'll
can't
get the
remember.
hybrid so I can paint. So this is actually going to be a weathered build. I'm going to actually end up doing a lot of camo and shading on this, and metallic pieces. I gotta get the paint ordered though. I gotta figure that out what I need. I found some interesting paints though. I found a lacquer can of brown primer. I'll use that for the base color. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
So
use that's
the lacquer,
Mr.
the
Hobby.
lacquer-based brown primer.
Lacquer brown base primer, yeah, for the weathering
Oh,
layer
wow.
base. Then
Interesting.
I'm
So
gonna
that would make for
do
some, because in color theory you got white, black, and gray as an undertone for whatever you're going to start laying on base colors.
yeah. It's
Don't
camo,
you think
but
like
the
brown, man?
base
That would make
color,
some awesome reds, or you would have some wicked or yellows and oranges.
I think the brown is gonna be covered by brown camo mask patterns, green camo mask patterns, and tan camo mask patterns. Then I'm gonna shade that all in together. That's for the armor sections, at
Right.
least. Then I get a damage and weathering to the frame. Just general detail damage work to it.
That's gonna look really awesome. Because dude, this Noise kit's got some sweet looking under like the inner frame parts where it's gonna really stand out. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, that's one thing you can do. You can get them looking as good as master grids or some perfect grids since they have full frames sometimes.
I've seen those. Yeah, some of those are really nice. I like.
Even the old Tomy ones were like crazy. They had so many details for the frame pieces back then.
I got to admit, I'm a little bit scared to ever touch a perfect grade just due to the cost of the kit.
They're so difficult just because you have to manage so many pieces. I'd rather build a high grade and paint it, honestly.
I'm not saying I wouldn't. I mean, I could manage the parts, but it's just the concept of the cost of the kit. You know, your most perfect grades are running you, somewhere in the neighborhood of like $400 or $500, right? That's a lot to spend on a model kit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult. I could never see myself spending that much. I bought that one kit, but I paid $287 for a resin kit, so it's not terribly priced. It's about as you expect from a perfect grade price, at least.
Well, hey, I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I just mean, like, when you start thinking about that, like $500 for a kit. And I'm not saying they're not worth it, because I get it. They're super intricate and all the rest of that, but $500,
Yeah.
like, that can buy you a lot of other stuff.
So anybody looking at the new Master Grid EX Freedom with the gold frame?
I've seen the
Oh
advertisements
yeah,
for it.
that one.
Yeah, I've seen the advertisements for it.
Bases. Yeah.
I'm not buying that.
Yeah, I can't say that I would be wanting to spend that kind of money for it.
No,
It would.
I prefer the color scheme of the original Freedom Gundam.
Yeah, me too.
Rather than the Freedom, the second improved version one, the one with the Kimbo rifles. I don't like that much. Yeah.
So this tip of this is really dull. I have to make this like super pointy and sharp because of safety edge.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna trim it with a knife, then I'm gonna sand it as I trim, I guess. It's kind of a redundant thing to do.
Right.
Yeah, just don't hurt yourself while doing it.
The knife is the easy part because you're not taking it off. You're just
Yeah,
roughing the edge. Yeah.
That's the hard part. Not hurting yourself.
But it's also the plastic too. You have to do it at an angle to where it's away from the center, so it doesn't bend the tip too much.
Oh yeah.
It'd been better if these option parts were metal, but these are all original Tomy plastics. And it's like, it's harder than resin, which is sad because it's so difficult to clean. It's not like Bandai plastic. It's really hard
Right.
plastic from like 2000.
Bandai's is polystyrene, and I'm not sure of all the
ABS.
plastics, but the Tomy plastic in the beginning wasn't polystyrene exactly.
Mhm.
Trying to think of what it is.
ABS.
Yeah, maybe it's ABS because the PVC or what polycaps are made of, it's soft rubber, and then
This is definitely ABS. It has
the
that feel.
ABS
It's very stiff.
is a
It's heavy
little bit
too.
right. Yeah, that makes sense. Because a lot of what we were talking about the other night with the Zaku that I'm building is the ABS is used on the joint part, and then I have the regular plastic, and it's probably because it needs to be a little bit flexible because it's in the joint area.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, that it has like at least three different grades of plastic in it because it comes with like 4 different colors for the mobile suit, just the armor. But yeah, you can definitely tell the difference in the material. When I started sanding it and trying to shape it, it doesn't shape right. It's hard to work with.
And that's where I'm getting to. I have some other kits like that. Resin,
Okay.
plastic materials, different companies. It's all different.
Right.
It doesn't clean different. It doesn't paint the same. You can't paint resin like you paint a plastic kit. It completely
Right.
changes
Right.
every time you go from different types. Even vinyl, soft vinyl kits I got, it's like a soft version of resin. You have to paint it with acrylic clear before you paint it with paint colors, because it won't
Oh
stick.
wow.
It's like painting on polycaps,
Damn.
so that's difficult too. I feel like
Do you
that
sometimes,
polishing. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, do you sometimes break your parts while applying, light cement on your, parts? Do you remove the sim lines and all?
No, I use for heavy mods, I just use
Uh-huh.
super glue gel.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a strong bond. It's stronger than cement.
oh, I see.
Or you can use CA
Yeah.
glue.
Because if you're going to
Well,
make a bond already, it doesn't have
It's
to be
CA.
printed. Just bond it together, make it absolutely solid, permanent, stand to final finish. Because you're going to prime and paint anyway. You're never going to see it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I
That's the idea.
see.
Yeah.
I heard, a lot of people complaining about, parts breaking apart due to I don't know, like the cement, having I mean the Bandai Gunpla parts are kind of weak to some types of cement or something like that. So
I
I
heard a
need to
lot
be
of kids are
careful
getting
with
them
it.
and not knowing how to hold them and breaking kits nowadays.
Maybe they improved that aspect of the Gunplas.
Yeah, it depends. I remember the old plastics were very brittle as a kid.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, brittle plastic, dry brittle. It's not so bad nowadays.
I see. So I don't need to worry too much about breaking parts then.
Well, and
I wouldn't think so.
and the other day when we were talking about the differences between plastics, I was saying to Carrie that a lot of it depends on, you know, who the manufacturer of the kit is,
Mhm.
and of course the age of the kit, right? If you buy a kit that's say from the mid '90s, right?
Right.
That's been sitting around for 20 years. Um, that plastic's going to be a lot more brittle. It will break. Small detail
I
stuff will
see.
snap. Um,
Yep.
Uh,
and I know not necessarily with Bandai kits, but like if you live in North America and say you're buying a car model, there's certain
mhm.
companies of model kits. They put out really high quality stuff and it's great stuff. It goes together well. And then there are other companies that are not so great quality. So
Uh,
so if you buy it, it's depending on whether you get a good model or a bad model. Yeah, you get it.
mm,
You can pick up a kit for $15, but that kit is, it's been printed for 30 years, and
Yeah.
it's got tons of
yeah.
flash, and it's just it doesn't go together well, and there's all kinds of puttying and filling and seaming and sanding and forever priming just to get it to a point where you can lay down a base color. And
I
yeah,
love forever priming. That's my whole nightmare.
Mm.
I primed the resin kit twice and it was perfect. The paint stuck and it never peeled off.
Nice.
Cannot believe that.
see, and like we
You
were
paint
talking,
resin, use thick primer.
well, and we were talking about this earlier about how some people paint on the runner, um, they'll paint and prime on the runner before they do any kind of assembly. I know for me, I used to do that with just about all of my kits. I would prime, like I would get my kit, I'd open up the bags, I'd warm soapy water, let it sit on the counter for a few hours, and then I would hit it with a coat of primer. And before you even assemble anything, you're already starting to see the imperfections in it, and it's sitting there on the runner, so it's actually easier to fix.
I see.
I want to try that method. I like it. I've seen other people do it with great success. I think I have a couple ideas I would like to add to that, or change the process, or try to get a different effect on a couple of pieces. But I really want to try that, and then bang a whole lot at one time.
Yeah, I could definitely see how it can be done. People can do it on the runner, because I've done car models and stuff like that on the runners. Just base primer everything, and then a base color on everything, and then it's just start working on it from there. Right? I mean, I don't
But
know.
like me and you were saying, Andrew, it's very basic. We understood these principles as kids, toying with whatever model it was, being junk or even the best of the time when we found it.
Yeah.
And now coming 30 years down the road now, we have all that experience of playing with crap and figuring it all out, where we have maybe not an edge on the competition, but we're able to look back and understand a little bit, or our builds are a little more involved for ourselves, because we're able to look back at previous technologies, or really appreciate something that's brand new and be like, man, these are nice, easy to cut, easy to clean, no cleaning involved, something.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really fun stuff.
But yeah, like I said, Lindbergh, that's one of those ones that, man, you'd be lucky if you got two pieces that go together at all.
Yeah. I built one of their kits years and years and years ago, and I built one. It didn't look pretty. I was not happy with it in any way, shape, or form, but I built it, and that's about as far as that goes.
Damn, what they ordering? Yeah, I think I have bought one Lindbergh kit, and I never finished it because I was trying to put it together. The pieces just, I don't even know what it was that I built. Maybe it was an airplane or something, but the fuselage didn't fit together with a shit, and I probably just trashed it. Got pissed off and threw it. And another company, AMT, remember AMT or Ertl?
Oh no, let's not.
I had an F-14 Tomcat that, it had way too many seams, and it never did come together right.
I am still trying to forget those nightmares. Thank you very much.
Living seam line nightmare right now, actually.
Yeah.
Right there, all the way down.
Oh.
And back here too. I gotta clean all of that. Yeah, there we go.
But it's on a basic plane, though. You know what I mean? It's not a complex shape. It's on a single plane, I think. That's helpful.
Here's another one that I was working on.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah,
Hiko, you're
pretty heavy.
You're a better man than I am. I can't do that anymore. I don't have the patience for it.
You have to use the chisels between each of the seams because they go through there. So once you sand it, you have to rescribe these right here, basically.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying you're a better man than I am, because I would look at that and just be like, yeah, new kit, thank you.
Yeah, like he was telling me.
And now for our next contestant.
They're God hands. They're not really chisels. They're flat bit drill bits. They're flat for drilling a round hole with a flat bottom. But I can use them to work on seam lines and flashing in small or hard to reach places, and that makes it, and that really helps. That's really nice. It's a great feature that I kind of stumbled upon when you got certain internal details that you cannot reach any other way. Like you said, you can use a like a chisel. If you know how to work it right, you can take a little of that flashing and just trim it down off there to get a better finish.
Pretty much. Hey, I'm actually taking a very considerable turn to go buy a ultrasonic sanding pad tool, a handheld one like a Dremel.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
That's going
I've
to.
heard they're slicker than snot, man. Apparently they work
Yep.
like a hot damn.
You can take
That's what I
sponges
heard.
and cut them and glue them on the pads, and
Yeah.
it just vibrates and it sands by itself. It's super efficient.
Yep.
Yeah. I've been
I
gonna
was
get that.
wondering about this. Just came on to this subject. You guys have seen rock tumblers, right? Drum basic. The drum, it tumbles with sand in it, and it makes things smooth. I wonder how that would work on some parts if you put them in for a short period. Because yes, it would grind off
Like sandblast.
panel lines and stuff. But for a short moment in time, it could be great for paint prep because it would prep out all the parts. But I wonder how well it would work to sand stuff down. Probably
Could be the
not
Bible.
very well because it's a very random tumble versus a very fixed pattern of movement for sanding on a certain surface or plane.
Yeah. And that's what I'm getting back to is that working in tools, hand tools, it's difficult because these kits, these are not high grades. They're bigger than master grades. And this is what a high grade box is. And you can tell that's the size of this compared to the parts count in here.
Right,
Basically
right.
master grade
So
is what
many
high
more,
grade is.
so many more runners of armor pieces in the frame.
And that's primarily why it takes so long to make videos and recordings.
I'm sure Andrew, Hiko, are you familiar with a company called Micromark?
Yep.
Maybe.
They're
Possibly.
a specialty miniature builders tool emporium. They've got some amazing tools. Some of them are outrageously priced, but they are very unique tools for the modeling industry or small miniature stuff. Really amazing. It would really probably benefit you because I know you do a lot of that high end work where your tools really do make the difference in a build when it comes to that level. But Micromark, check it out. They got some really amazing stuff. You get free catalogs. I get them every month. But I'm always thumbing through it, looking at the craziest tools. It's like, damn, who would have thought? Who would have made this?
See, that's the hard part because the US catalogs aren't as good as the offerings you get from Hong Kong and Japan. That's the
Yep, this
hardest
is
part I
from
get. Yeah.
somewhere overseas in Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That
I
gives a
love
lot of the,
German tool makers. Because German tool makers, they're some of the best in the world. It's like the Swiss make the best watches. But yeah,
yeah. Michael got jacked for date night, basically.
yeah,
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, that's okay. That's cool. He was doing some painting videos I saw with his Gundam.
Yeah, that and
So nice.
it turned out pretty good. He was pretty happy with it. I gotta say, I was impressed with the multi-gold colored framing. So
amazing color separation, armor. Oh, dude, it's crazy that he was using a copper and a rose gold, which obviously are very closely related, except for one has that rose tint and the other's more orange. But man, the color separation is very, very subtle. But once you see it, you can't stop seeing it. But you've got to
Pretty
look
much.
for it. It's really good.
Which one are you talking about?
Web
Probably a
sees
link in the chat.
Mike Wimmer's Rose Gold CPAX.
Yep.
CX F90.
Yeah, it's
Gundam Minty.
No, I think he was doing a narrative. Yeah, he was doing narrative Gundam CPAX.
Oh, narrative Gundam, right? Yeah. High grade or MG?
It was a high grade.
I believe,
Oh.
yeah, it's a high grade,
Oh, but this
but
thing
he's got
turned
like
out
five shades,
good.
five
It's
different
good.
shades of gold on it though.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Just like Rose gold,
And it-
24 karat gold,
And
pure
it-
Like, till you
gold.
see it in sunlight, it's like 10 times as bright.
Yeah, it
Right.
actually the
Yeah.
color play on it is pretty cool. It really reacts well.
Kits like that, you
When I
need a
look
lot
at
of
it,
light to make it shine.
I get two very distinct concepts going. Somebody that's not looking close enough for the detail sees a very shiny, fancy looking Gundam, and it is. But if you start looking at that detail, then you start picking out, like we are saying, all these different shades of the gold used. It's like, damn, you find one, you find another one. It just keeps going. But if you don't look, it is just very shiny. It's like, oh, that's cool. It's just another shiny one. It's like, no, there's a lot more to it. It's
Found
it's
yourself a shiny
very
Gundam.
subtle, very subtle.
I still want to buy the high res God Gundam and paint it in gold. Straight gold. I want that. I want it next to this in gold also, the Master Gundam.
Oh, okay.
I want to get
I'm just not a fan
that.
of the color gold, just in general. I don't like it. No, I don't wear gold jewelry or anything.
It's kind of hard to find good gold looking kits. Like the Phoenix kit, I probably will never buy that, but it looks good in photos. I mean,
It does. I see it. It looks great in photos because it attracts me. It's got a great suit. The suit looks great, and the
I just don't
gold
want
looks
to buy it
good.
though.
But I'm sketched out about clipping gold plastic, man.
Yep.
And I mean, you could totally underdate it properly, and you could really plan out your molding, and it could be extraneous. But that's
Get
the only way you would ever
the
get it
Davian
so
one.
that a lot of those pieces can't be seen, because you have to clip them off, and it just fucks the kit up.
It pretty much does actually.
Just personally, because I was looking at the gold frame Freedom. I think it's cool also, but that's one thing that I heard takes it away. Clipping, it just doesn't add up well.
You're just paying for the color. I think hobby paint would actually be a lot cheaper and look a lot better with that kit. There's people that do electroplate dipping. Apparently.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, quite a few.
that blows my mind. Because like, how the hell do you electroplate plastic? I mean, I know it can be done, but it just doesn't make sense really fast when you think about it. But
Yeah,
They're plating it in black first
right.
and dipping it.
And what it is the ferrous material, the it'd be ferrous. The metal is in the black paint, so that's where you get your conductivity.
I think it's hydrochrome
Like chalk
plating.
has metal in it for magnetic use.
Yeah, something like that right.
Because I was curious about maybe something. It's got to be 160, so it's going to be like perfect grade or higher, and then hydro dipping parts to get very, very, very complex designs. Or
I find trying to get the metal finish, get a nice metal finish for any color, whether it's a silver, a chrome, or gold, or anything like that. Trying to get it to actually recreate in a paint form, or even just plastic for that matter, to get
Yeah.
it to actually look like the actual metal is incredibly difficult.
I know some paint methods that are crazy that I've never shared with anybody.
Is that like a trade secret of I could tell you, but then I got to kill you?
It's
Right.
like I don't tell people that I've made methods for certain reasons,
Yeah.
unless they really need it. But like exotic paint colors, I'm not talking about like buying the most expensive paint. Use a gloss enamel for your base color, and use the holomatic spectrochrome from Alclad, and
Okay.
use the gloss white over that. You'll have a complete perfect that looks better than any other paint pigment.
Okay.
interesting. That's
send
really that
I
right
can
there's a
post it in the
money
chat
tip.
right now. Yeah.
I have tried that.
I can find the photo and post it.
I did try the Molito liquid chrome paint pens.
This one.
I have one, and I got to admit I am pretty impressed that how well it actually does. Once it's cured, it does look pretty damn good as far as mirror chrome. in a paint
You have
set.
to be really careful with it and make it work. Yeah.
Yeah, you do have to be careful with it. I know that I took the lid off mine and I actually poured it into my airbrush and
Oh.
look and went at it with the airbrush and was pretty happy with the result of it. But yeah, it was
That's
multiple
what I was curious about. Putting
multiple
that
coats to get it to
in
work right.
liquid airbrush.
It's like the one
Hell
thing you can't fear trying new paints and trying new different things,
Yeah, and that's
especially learning to paint too.
and that was the thing is I just kind of said, you know what, I'm gonna try putting this in my airbrush, and it worked out pretty damn good. So I was happy with that.
Yeah.
Uh,
You can drop some thinner into it. It helps, but you can put over black gloss too.
Yeah.
I think getting it to lay even's the trick and the right pressure. Once you learn that, it should be perfect.
it's
Yeah.
expensive though.
It is
It can be,
expensive.
but
Those pens
yeah.
can be upwards of like $25 a pen. So or if
Okay.
you
Yeah, it's sparingly for a detailed job. That's it.
It's literally liquid metal, right? It's
yeah. Uh,
Yeah,
I'm
pretty much.
I'm in the process of I'm waiting for a
Oh,
refill bottle, which is so
you know,
I've never paid $60 for for a bottle of paint before, but I'm waiting for my local
speaking of
hobby store to
paint,
get some.
so there's two different types of paint. There's pigment-based and there's metal-based paints. Did you know that Alclad's paints are actually metal
All alkaline stuff.
painting
that's
for
where they got
the
the name
material?
too.
Most
Right.
of it, yeah, like steel is actually steel shaving. It's like sandpaper. Think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
How fine can you make the pigment or the metal shavings to make it look
Yep.
real?
hmm
Yep.
They said that on the aircraft models, why not use the real material? So they
That's what
did.
that's what MIG ammo is doing. And they're trying to recreate all these weathering stuffs and paints with pulverized metals and find a binder or a
Yeah.
carrier solution and then a way to apply it and then different techniques to apply it to get a certain effect. It's turned out incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, like the other, like Gaia or Mr. Color, they don't make
Yeah.
pigment. They only make pigment-based paints, and they're not actually fine metallic, or they're not metals. They're artificial colors and flakes.
Yeah.
They're like these
Right.
flake sheets they print or make, and they cut them up, but they're not actually metal pigments or
Right.
details. That's why you see a lot of Mr. Color, Gaia, or Tamiya fit like metallics. They have these little like flakes to it,
Yeah.
so
They're
it doesn't
granular almost.
settle, doesn't yeah.
Yeah, and that's the price point too, the quality point because of the material that it takes to make it. It's like blue glass takes cobalt. It's expensive as hell.
Yeah, yeah. So the ink, the metal, was actually self-leveling since it's an ink-based, like enamel paints. They're
Right.
self-leveling. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's good for hand painting and airbrushing, both, which is perfect. I need to buy some of the colors. I wish they had a gold tinted one.
Once we learned to atomize paint as a civilization to apply a color, that was a huge step.
Yeah, color dyeing was a huge thing when it first came in.
What's that?
Color dyeing,
Oh yeah.
flowers, colors, pigments, everything else,
Right.
soil too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a real big fan of like different elements. Oh, absolutely. I'm a big fan of that a lot of earth sciences, universal science. Uh, yeah, because a lot of the shit that we push or we're always comparing each other by or to is all these man-made things that we've created just so that we can put labels on or understand
Yeah.
some natural science or an occurrence. I'm a big fan of the natural occurrences, and there's no reason why. Who gives a shit? Stop trying to put a label on it.
So I gotta figure out what kit I'm going to build after I'm done painting this, because once I start paint, I can probably have this fully painted within a week because of the type of build it's going to be. Cleaning is the biggest part. Painting is going to be the fastest process because the weathering doesn't take much for this kit. It's just alclad, steel, dry brushing, aluminum enamel,
Oh,
then a black sludge wash with black enamel. It looks fine, but
shadows. That's awesome. Sounds great.
Yeah.
That's kind of the basic I do. I just use different brands, but absolutely the same thing, just to get that weathered metal look. Oh yeah, worn machinery.
I might get the Mr. Hobby weathering colors and the light sand brown color to wash it with afterwards, I think.
Right.
Then once that dries, I can kind of like detail it from there. That's
Every
the
once
biggest
in a while,
challenge.
I scroll across like on Amazon, the whole Tamiya kit of like the weathering chalks and sponge brush, and there's like 6 of them, or 4 of them, maybe 4 or 6 of them. But yeah, one's like charcoal soot or Iraqi dust. Mike knows Andrew knows what I'm talking about for
Yeah, for
weathering tank
armor,
models and stuff.
for doing
Yep,
armor.
exactly.
Pigments,
I started buying some
tools,
of that
applying
stuff,
it is all
or
good. Yeah.
trying to use it, or create my own by buying it. I bought a pastel kit, and then I just pulled the basic colors out of it and shade it up, and then use one of the wife's makeup brushes to apply it.
I use this a lot actually for metals because it's basically gunmetal. It actually is fine gunmetal pigment. That's all it is.
And so an artist's drawing pencil, you can cut back the wood and expose a lot of the graphite, and you can highlight the edges of your Gundam, and it'll make it look worn and shiny. But it's very, very subdued and very, very dark. But in the right light and direction, you can get that shimmer.
Right. And that's the thing. This is more of a military scheme for this one because of the markings and the weathering details I'll go in.
Awesome. Everything I try to
figures too
goes that direction. Just if I'm customizing anything, it goes that direction, like a military night ops.
I'll give you a hint of what the size of this thing is. You'd be surprised actually. I can find the pieces.
Yeah, this thing's gonna look incredible when you're done with it.
I kind of got stuck on this build because that guy, the other guy I know, I did a commission build for him and painted that purple kit for him. Then he asked me to build this and paint it afterwards. And I got to figure out what I'm going to build next after this kit. I have quite a few kits lined up, but I don't know which one.
You guys build and paint tanks too? The military tanks?
Sorta. I'm actually building a Zoids kit, so it's similar to that.
I'll build whatever.
Yeah, I'm.
What's your favorite tank?
I'm a modern. I'm gonna go with the Abrams tank platform. It can be an Abrams A1 all the way up through the modern. But if we're gonna go through history, I'm a Panzer fan, and I like the M60.
I'd have to go with the Sherman tank.
Good solid tank.
The pilot figure plus the foot, I guess.
Oh, right on.
So difficult.
Yeah, it's for me. It's kind of a dependent upon what genre of armor you're talking about. If you're talking modern day,
I like that.
If you're talking modern day, I kind of like the German Leopard, probably because Canadian Armed Forces has that as their main tank.
Oh my god, is it the flying tank?
And if we're going World War II, I'm kind of a fan of the Tiger tank, and I also like the Sherman.
I see. Yeah, I like the Abrams tank too, but some people say that Abrams look ugly. I don't see why it looks ugly to them, but
they're good looking.
People have different tastes, and
beauty of the beholder.
Hey, how do we set up a how do you say group video night where you just do video streaming? Unlike this, where you just like stream a movie as a group watch.
I don't know.
Speak that language.
I will talk to Mike about that, and because Mike he's kind of our tech guy, so he knows more about it than I do.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you can probably get a movie night to actually stream once a week or something.
Yeah, he was talking about that. So get with him. He knows, and that's what he was saying. He goes, "Dude, we ought to pick a movie and do something like that."
Yeah, he's the guy to talk to. He's the tech guy. We do need to get a couple other techies though.
I
But
think it's
Mike
called a
is
watch
the
party.
only one right now.
Like I'm technical. I'm technical to a point, but Mike knows a lot more about it than I do.
Me too. I'm dealing with YouTube a lot and social media, posting a lot.
That's why it's important. It was important for me to build a crew and create, good friends and bonds. Because what I don't know, but I just as well have it because I have you as a friend. If I ask you a question, you're gonna probably tell me, maybe show me, or just your work and is lead by example, so I can follow after it. There's nothing I can want for with good friends that think the same way, because we're always a culminant of information, the collective conscious.
You know, when Netflix first originally went to streaming services in the Xbox, you can go on Xbox Live and do watch parties with friends, up to quite a few people. It was like a movie theater screen and it had avatars, but all you had to do was join people and you can talk and watch a movie together as you stream it to Netflix through Xbox Live app.
I see some people talk about moving to Discord. Derek Ho,
Discord streaming is the way
the
to do it.
Horde, if anybody knows who the Horde is or who Derek Ho is a friend of mine.
He keeps getting kicked from certain groups because people keep recommending him.
Yeah, I guess he's trying to move over to Discord, or someone's trying to take the group to Discord. I was gonna intervene and try to get Derek on our team and get him some better help, because I feel like somebody that he's working with might be taking advantage of him. I'm not sure, but that's just my opinion. Only because I know I like Derek. I try to keep up with him and stuff. So something's weird, but anyway,
He's trying to sell a lot of.
I'm just curious.
He's
Like,
selling a lot, yeah.
Yeah, what do you guys know about that stuff? Like, I really don't know shit.
I don't know. He's just selling a lot of stuff.
Like, where's
Groups
the next
have gone
stage?
to no self-promoting rules, so that's partly why.
And that's not fun, because
That's not on them.
Yeah, because I'm trying to, if not, at least self-promote obviously self-promote myself. I'm trying to boost my friends and shit here and there. So I want that to, not be an issue. And I kind of feel like it could be.
There's a YouTuber, McConaman. He does painted build videos for kits. Anyways, he does a lot of YouTube content, but he's not really posting to the community a lot because the groups don't really like spam posting Facebook or YouTube anymore.
Right. Because I am not afraid to admit when I'm lacking skills or knowledge, because then I rely on those at my side to have my back, or my ability to go to a resource and get the knowledge I need.
Yeah.
So I'm really never at a loss. Wow, these people really flash your high beams, hit the horn. I'm about to freak the fuck out.
You caught
Sorry.
driving for a long time?
Yeah, well, it was a 6-hour shift, and I was with her out driving, helping, riding shotgun, security kind of thing. But yeah, we've got a driver in front of us now that's real slow, pokey, and
And you want to yell out the window, the accelerator is the one on the right.
Let him go in a slow way.
right. I know exactly. Like that left foot, that thing should never do nothing. There's no other pedal but the right one.
The accelerator's the one on the right.
Safety first. I know I get stressed out too, and she gets stressed out because I've helped instill her driving skills. Because that's what like Andrew knows. It's a very special skill. If you're a professional driver of sorts, it comes in very handy to know how to operate vehicles of all sorts and keep your eyes on the road and be a very safe and conscious a civilian out there in the world capable of something. But man, this guy's a real problem.
Yep, come across them.
I have.
You grew up in the South, you kind of come across that stuff a lot.
I think I don't think it's just the South. I think it's kind of an all over thing. My experience in commercial driving, I've spent a lot of hours behind the wheel, and there are a lot of stupid drivers out there that do a lot of stupid things.
Yeah.
Yeah, very selfish. Very selfish. They are
Yeah.
not looking for pro because as a commercial driver, because I'm not a commercial driver, but I would be willing to put myself in the ranks of being, somewhat of a professional driver at stores because it was a lot of pilot cars, but being able to operate machinery of all sorts. So that gets you in a level that you have to not just pay attention to what you're doing. Everybody else around you is a danger to me if
Yep.
I'm not paying attention, right? And that's really how it comes down to in safety in those worlds. Just because I'm operating equipment or this big truck comes with a lot of responsibility, yes, but the training has made us safe. We have to look out for the others that aren't paying attention for us,
Well,
and that's retarded. That's where it's retarded.
coming from commercial driving, the one thing that I can tell to anyone who is just kind of, they're starting to learn how to drive or anything like that, I say to them, drive like everybody's out to kill you, because essentially that's what they're doing. They don't give a crap about you or what you're doing or where you're going. They want to get where they want to go, and they will run you over to get there.
Yep.
What if
Cover your ass.
Terminator
Stay
themed
in your
truck
lane.
drivers start towing?
Um,
Oh yeah.
I
mean,
can't.
the movie from T2. I mean, the truck.
Yeah.
Black one on the bridge. I want that truck.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
I
badass.
can't count the number of times I've been driving in my local area in a commercial truck, and I'm driving down the street and fully loaded truck, and you see a guy sitting at a corner, 2 blocks up, and he's slowly nudging forward, and you're just waiting for him because he's going to jump out in front of you, and you're playing that game of, are you that stupid? Are you going to do it? And oh, yes, you are that dumb. It's not fun being a commercial driver. It's really not.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. Because I just get frustrated watching other people drive.
So, you guys have any recommendations for hobby tools that make custom mods easy?
Hold on, I couldn't hear you say that again.
You got any
Hobby
recommendations
tools.
for hobby tools?
For what specific project?
Let's say mounting mods, joints, maybe for weapon systems. I guess I don't know.
Right on. No, it's good. I'm gonna go with a basic toolkit. You need a good pin vise, so you can drill holes. You can make hinges. A good set of chisels is going to come in handy if you're going to be recessing. So you can use your drill to get your corners, and then a hobby knife to get your mark set and your whatever your little template is, and then your chisels would be really handy.
I think power tools is what I really want to get into. I want to get into power sanding tools.
Absolutely,
power cutting tools.
way to go.
So I need the ultrasonic knife, hobby knife.
Yep.
It's like $300, but
yeah.
I do have a rotary tool that I can hook up to my air compressor.
Like it's basically this knife, but like 10,000 times faster.
Yeah.
Because you're just holding it.
Yeah, it's you got to be. It's one of those. I mean, it's a fabulous tool to have a rotary tool that you can cut with.
For resin.
For resin. Well, for anything. I just find that you got to be really precise with your cuts with it because it's really easy to make a mistake.
You want to make a list of hobby tools that we can make a list of and post into the chat later on or the group?
That'd be cool because on top of that, I would add simple things like some like measuring tools, like very simple compasses and gauges that you can set for length, and then you can replicate or duplicate your those lengths and stuff. I got some cool pictures I can snatch up and show you what I mean by.
It'd be really beneficial if I make a poll and have everybody ask into it.
Right, like digital calipers. So instead of eyeballing it or whatever, to learn to start using calipers and probably set it to millimeters or do it by thousandths of an inch if you're American or whatever. But learn to use some digital calipers would be a good thing because you can use calipers to scribe lines on plate and be very accurate because you can lock the caliper and slide it and do all kinds of good stuff. You can bend photo etch and all kinds of goodies. But
Yeah,
yeah,
one thing I
it's a good idea.
find, yeah,
Dremel
You go ahead.
has a Dremel has a hand rotary tool that's like it's like a pen. It's probably about as big around as this nail filing pad. It's super
I
tiny.
got one
It's super
big.
tiny. It hasn't been out that long. I think I saw it the other day, and it looks like it would be super useful for cutting or for anything like that. I don't know how well it works because I didn't actually get to try it out, but it's a hell of a lot smaller than most rotary tools are.
So what do you guys think the new Bandai online GBM style game is going to be? Apparently they have this giant
Sega.
Gundam multiverse coming out, apparently.
I think it's awesome because that's what Gunpla is
Good idea.
going to go to that level, and it's a way of putting everybody together in one giant community, but giving everybody their own ability to be very individual within that world.
Yeah. That's kind of what
I
we're
think
doing
it's
right now, basically.
really good. I think it's really good.
You mean the 3D person shooter or the
Probably like a
virtual
video game
reality one?
style.
The VR world, I believe.
They
Oh,
want
really?
a
I'm
video game
looking
world,
for.
apparently.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. But
Is going to be something very, very important to pay attention to in the future. My son keeps me up to date on that, so it's really interesting. He's 15. He's into gaming, so I try to help him with his craft by setting an example and running a business or giving him ideas that he can do and instill confidence in him to try to produce game video. But the virtual world for him is very important because at his age, he does not really communicate in society very well, and I can see it. And he's not like me, and I see where he does better in a virtual world. He makes an avatar that fits his personality or mood, and he can do that. And I guess other kids, when they see that, kind of already know that's a sign, and you can be whoever you want to be, right? Literally.
yeah,
So I find the anonymity to be awesome, but at the same time, that's not the way I did it or I was raised. I like to do it old school and shake hands and give hugs. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's important to me. I look a man in the eye, but that's okay. I
Like
think
going to a Christmas party drunk on rum already, kind of give him a hug, kind of deal.
no, not that creepy.
Okay, no, that kind of no.
No, I'm pretty manly. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know it. but it's important because when I give a hug or you know what I mean, or when I shed a tear, it's powerful because that's a lot of energy, man. It's also very important because the more how you move
Bond
like
that you feel towards others, is very important, like when dealing with other people.
You know those people that do the Barbados Rex fingers and nails that make them look really sharp. I think
I like the
they
short
have
one.
yeah, that's crazy work. I'm doing
It's
the
not a
same
Barbados
thing.
thing just because I want to go against the grain, and I just know that Barbados is just inherently overpowered and could be the most powerful suit of all time, depending on the pilot. So you have to like take it out of the equation, and I've only built one, and it'll probably be the only one.
It's funny
Yep.
because I built one specifically so I could say, "Yep, I built one," and
Yep,
and
me
that'll
too.
be the
And
only
a
one I
T-Day.
do.
Just like I said, I built one because I'm not going to get on that bandwagon. No, I don't give a damn. I really don't.
That bandwagon's going somewhere else, man.
But I don't want to get into conversations over it because I'm just like, dude, that thing is a primal, bestial, overpowered, life-taking machine. It depends who's piloting that thing and what job you need to do because it's unstoppable.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how do you guys feel the current status of Facebook groups now?
I'm not up to date on that stuff, but I'd like to be. So that's why I'd like to have some more tech guys involved in what we do, just so they can keep us up to date with information that's relevant. Because I'd like to know.
I want to find out what happened to that one group. Or the I build Gundam models and I'm proud. I want to find out what happened.
Oh, I did hear about that. I think you said something to me, and that's what brought that up. Yeah,
we
just
were talking
imploded.
about that. It kind of imploded itself. Yeah, it's funny. I actually think the main admin got his account banned, and he lost the group after that. I think that's how it works.
I'm sure it's drama, just like in real life. It's just drama. Somebody does something that somebody doesn't like. They don't know how to handle it. They lash out and do something just as bad, and sometimes it draws attention. I don't know. It just gets really ugly. It's kind of like the Amber Heard bullshit.
I don't think the guy even cared about the group. He just made it to make it, and there was no rules, and that's why it was so infamous.
Right. It just got way out of control.
Yeah. Fun times though.
Dude, that's crazy. Somebody should have commandeered that thing. You know what I mean? If they knew what they were doing, they could have guided that. Because I didn't let anybody have control of our groups, until I knew they knew what they were doing. I mean, it was Iron Fist. I didn't, and then, so I don't know. It's really sad because it could have been something, because it really was. But man, you said it. Infamous.
If you can find some details on it, that'd be amazing. I can't find anything. It's too
Yeah,
difficult to find
it's gonna be a
information.
while. It'll slip out. Someone will have to say something. You know how it goes. It's like always after the interview. You know what I mean? After
Like the
you've been
Forrest Diego guy.
It's just Jerry Springer shit.
Who said oof? Are we talking about Forrest guy? Yeah, he was infamous in the group for being trolls.
Dude, and that sucks about people that have to be trolls. It's like, I feel bad that their life is really that bad that they have to harm other people's lives just to make themselves feel better.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
that's horrible. And I'm not gonna hate on you, those kind of people for that, because
There's other people for that.
Eh,
That's the most truthful thing I've ever heard.
they're not even worth hating.
Because hating on people just doesn't come naturally. You have to try that shit. You have to try to work at it. You know what I mean? But to really be happy and on a team and a root for other people, that's a natural instinct in our herd. That's what we're. And when you start standing up against that, or you start, you're a hater. The only people you're hanging out with, or the only people that like you, are other haters. Because man, that shit, it's worthless. It's drama, and it creates content, especially video or audio content when people get into a battle of words. I get it, but there's no place in the world for hating on other people, man. That's productive at all.
They're just gonna end up hurting themselves by hating others,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ultimately, in the end, it backfires. You can never prosper. We're our brother's keeper. You know what I mean? Like I can't be successful if my friends aren't successful around me, because I'm not hanging out with people that aren't successful, right? Because if I was, then I would not be successful, because they're not. So we're not really, steel sharpens. So we're not growing together. Unlike we are, we're helping each other, and we're doing new things. Yeah, there's no place. You gotta have a positive mindset. Your life is only as good as your mindset.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just.
Yeah.
So the group KitBash Gundam, if you guys really made the effort and got the distribution, the promotions done to a lot of people, the group would grow really fast. I'll probably tell you that. You'll see it happen really quick.
I can imagine.
You'll blink and it's 2,000. You'll blink again, it's 4,000. Next thing you know, it's 10,000.
Right, but to be very cautious, and I don't want to be. I wouldn't want for us to turn into that, because even if it becomes something that stands alone outside of, I was the creator. I wouldn't want to. I try to lead by example, so I wouldn't want it to turn into that group that implodes and goes off the rails. So it was really important for me to to try to implement the right people like you guys that understand what's going on. It takes a group, it's a community. I can't do this alone other than just be myself, and I can be myself in my group with you guys because we're all being ourselves. But we've just got this little slice of something we're all working at. I would just want to be cautious, but yes, if we did the right things and we had the right people, so I'm working on trying to make those handshakes with the right people. And if I can do that and get a real solid team, yeah, it could grow. Because I want to go in the long haul for real and do good for many more than just be a flash in the pan, something now, and maybe hurt some feelings or even distance itself from people that started it because it became something that it really wasn't. I want to stay true to what it was and just be honest, because everybody has a stake in it. It's like, this is your house, you got to keep it clean too. You don't, you're going to get weeded out. Somebody's going to notice you're not doing your share, and that's how it works. I don't have to do it. Somebody's going to do it for me because I expect the same in return. If I don't pull my weight, someone's going to say something to me, and we should. Because steel sharpens steel. We got to keep each other alert, and that's what we're doing by building together. Because you guys are the best people in the world to bounce ideas off of, because we're doing the same thing, and now we've discovered that we have this passion that we do together, and now we've got a crew, and now I don't know, it just feels like the more that becomes tight knit, the better the potential it rises.
The quality of the content goes up. So once we finally all figure it out, like, how do we invite other people into this? Because you can get more people than just us to casually drop in.
Right. And that's what I would
It has
like.
to be an appeal to join. Hey, look at the mods I'm doing for hosting, you know? Probably the biggest things you want to look at. Finding that will to share and learn how to mod, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's why I said, I'll be the first one to admit, every time if I don't know an answer to a question, because that's what it boils down to. A lot of answers to a lot of things. But
I never really liked Facebook groups that much, but
I
it's easy to get into. Yeah.
I didn't know anything about them. This is a first, and over the past 2 years,
I'm filing nails. This is literally what I'm doing.
right?
I'm about to send you the before and after photos. It's actually crazy. Oh, I can show you right here, actually.
Oh, wow. That looks nice. Really nice.
Yeah.
So this needs to be super, super sharp.
That's looking pretty good too.
You're giving your Gundam a mani-pedi?
I'm giving my Zoids kid a manicure, apparently.
Yeah, mani-pedi. Sorry, I'm sorry, that was bad. That was mean.
It's self-care. It's important. That's important. And that's where just your mentality.
Considering it's a main weapon, it has to be very sharp because the original ones are dull. So, and these are different feet than the original too. So,
it only makes sense.
Feet, yeah, these are completely different weapon sets. Did you see the new Zoids Takara Tomy Bandai crossover?
I think didn't you post those in the feed, Hiko?
I think we did. Yeah, there's a Liger Zero Bandai crossover.
Yeah, I saw that. That looked really cool.
And I'm wondering how much it costs because it's a metal, full metal apparently.
Oh, it's a full metal.
Like,
ouch.
oh.
That's going to be pricey.
All right.
I looked for 2 YouTubers. I couldn't find anybody. I was talking to Oni Mecha on YouTube and one other person.
Cool. That's cool.
There was another guy that does the YouTube panel I talked to. Those guys aren't really doing much.
When a name comes out of someone's mouth, I'm like, oh yeah, I know that dude. I made it a point to just hit almost everybody at some point, and they led me to somebody else. And it was just a matter of saying, hey, cool, nice to meet you. I just want to say I like what you're doing, and it's an inspiration, and check me out in the future. Stay tuned, and I'll let you know. We'll see where we're at. And now I see them doing great things still because they're on a path, and I'm doing still the same thing, but I'm just on a different path because I'm the visionary that's trying to bring all this shit together. Because it's not just this department. Because this is one part of the hangar core. There's all the other two, and then obviously I play with RC cars too.
That's the fun part.
So it's just the hobby industry in general. I'm just there, but the niches. I got into Gundam. And that's where So I take my scale models, my Gundam, my model trains, all that, slam it together, and I get it all at one time. So that's my dioramas. I take all that, smash all that together. I'm done. That's where I get my fix.
Super cool.
So
Smash the diorama
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
So
That's the way to do it, man.
144 does nothing for me. I really don't. I don't build it.
No love for it.
I know I love it, but I really don't have it because those are just models that go on the shelf. My master
Just
grade,
toys.
those all go to dioramas, so they're going to a larger project versus something that's just it's like an action figure, but I'm starting to really enjoy that part of it. So that's important. I like that. I like that. It's doing a lot more of this with you guys. It's become this addiction. It's like, oh, I got to build this mobile suit now. Oh, this one looks good. I got to build this mobile suit now.
Buy every Bandai kit. Buy
Only
everyone.
Gunpla could move. That would be super cool.
Believe your wallet's empty and buy every kit.
Dude, any good hobby, that's exactly what it'll do to you. That's where your money
pretty
goes, and that's where all your attention, your time, and all your skills, and whatever IRL skills you put into it, in real life skills, you get back out of it. Just like knowing about cars. So racing RC cars makes it easy. So I can watch a race, and I'll be like, if I was driving, I put the inputs in to get the reaction I want. Just basic mechanics on I don't know. It just works for me, and that's I follow that passion, and I never really tried anything else. I just kept going further with mechanics, just as an auto mechanic or whatever it was, some mechanical functionality.
You also fly RC helicopters and planes and all that.
Yeah, I no helicopters, but planes and drones. Yeah, because I'm a drone pilot too. In the real world, I have a drone, so I can fly drones. And that's easy. It just, as a kid, that's what my dad did for me. Showed me how to do it. And then in school, I mean, I didn't really learn a whole lot about some things, but man, when it came to aeronautics, I understood what lift and drag and all that was. So I like aircraft. It's really neat. So yeah, I got boats, planes, cars, trucks. So I like all that stuff. The culmination of a life's hobby, a collection. And you guys know as well as anybody that it never stops. It won't stop. It just evolves. Like Hiko is like, at one point, I'm just going to stop and I'm going to throw it all away. I'm going to just give it up and go into something completely left field, maybe. Maybe you will, but all that really is an evolution. It's not like you really did it. You just changed it. Your denial maybe wants you to say you're going to give it up, but you'll never give up your passion. Which for me, if I'm not working on an RC car in the winter, I'm working on a dirt bike in the summer, or I'm flying my model airplane in the spring, or in the fall. I could be building little balsa model kits, just because whatever I'm working on, just kind of back and forth.
Yeah, it's definitely an addiction. Because yeah, like I get it. Carrie, I think in a lot of respects, me and you are kind of similar people because
Absolutely.
We've
I
didn't.
I did it again. I'm sorry, guys. I'm upside down.
It's all good. I didn't get into cars until I was in my teen years, and then my girlfriend at the time, her stepdad dragged me down to the shop, and he's like, we're doing brakes on a truck, and that's what started it for me. And next thing I know, I'm twisting wrenches full time. And I mean, if it's shiny and goes fast, I'm in. It doesn't matter whether it's a plane, car, boat. If it's shiny and goes fast, all right, let's talk about it. I'm cool.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and models is just one of those things for me. It's just it's relaxation. It's
Yeah.
fun.
I think it makes me feel like I can get all those shiny things that I like too. It's like, oh, I like that tank. I wish I could afford a tank. This is a way of, maybe for lack of better terms, I call it my God complex. I can create the world that I feel fit. So, you know, I make my terrain, I have a set, I got my backstory, I can have whatever models I want. Because you were talking about leopard here. These are 15 millimeter.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, well, I can see.
15 millimeter. That roughly works with 1/100 scale. It's not perfect for you people out there. No, it's not. But it works well enough. But yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm just.
And with that, I can.
So what I missed?
Hey there.
Just talking about how, you know.
I heard they give up motivation part where it's like, throw it all away. Yeah, I heard that part, and I got disconnected.
We were talking.
Like when you.
We were talking about how, you know, you've said that, you know, one day you'll get bored of painting and you'll throw it all away. Yeah.
Pretty much.
I'm sure you'll hit that point where you get bored and you may stop doing it. I guarantee you probably 5 years down the line you'll be back to it.
Yeah, I think the problem with me is that I don't care for the kit when it's done. Like these master grades or high grades, I don't care for them. I care for the process. Like doing this right now.
Yeah.
Like this is basically, if I can work on it for the longest time, I'd rather do that.
Yeah, and that's, I'm the same way. Like, you know, it's more about, for me, building models, building Gundam it's just the process. It's something for me to chill out and relax.
Oh yeah, who's doing the recording tonight, by the way?
I am.
I forgot.
Yeah, I'm covering.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm covering for Mike.
So you guys are going to transition to the Facebook live streaming on the page?
That is the assumption. That is what Mike has kind of indicated to me. Is that
right.
That's
what I tried on Wednesday night, was to do like a state of the hangar address kind of thing through a Facebook live on the page to see if it. But I don't have a very good connection. I need a hardwire. But anyway, so I wanted to test that, and then I did, you know, the Wednesday night in the chat group here.
You're talking about doing setup for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
because I think that's the way that's the way I want to try to do this for myself. I think I want to do it live through the page.
Yeah.
I just don't know how the interactivity works with everybody though.
Is that a civilian astray?
Was that?
That high grade, was that a civilian astray, or is that a different one? A high grade one.
Who, me or my?
Yeah, who are you talking to?
Hold on. I can't see usernames. I'm sorry. I can't see who's in chat either.
So yeah, an ultrasonic
I'm working
knife,
on a Mark II.
$379.99 for an ultrasonic knife. Right there.
How much does that cost?
$379.
$379.
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to look at the brand.
Yeah, that is. You don't replace the knife blade.
No, these ones can be replaced. Yes.
They're specialty blades that are meant for high frequencies. They don't break. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this is. It comes in packages of 40.
See those for resin?
Dude, I want a vacuum former. I want a vacuum forming machine. That's what I need. A vacuum forming right there. Small.
It's like a foot by.
Just for
like,
casting.
12.
You can do like casting with like resin or
Yep.
UV.
Yep.
See, I need
Simple.
parts
I do
duplicated.
very basic elements. See, what I need is either I need to do that or a 3D printer to do very basic elements for my dioramas.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing 3D printing, not for myself, but how do you get a service for that, for buying stuff? Like, if you bought parts from somebody that printed it, I was always curious about how that worked.
Oh, wait, say again?
3D printing, how do you buy parts? Like option parts, if you buy them on a market.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
have somebody print stuff for you.
Oh, me? I have people print stuff for me because yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'll buy a file and then I know somebody that has a 3D printer and I'll just take the file to them.
Yeah, yeah. I figured out where to put that box.
But yeah, there's so many pliers, types of tweezers.
Mind if I ask a question?
sure.
Absolutely, that's what it is for.
Have you guys ever built a master grade Senanju Stein?
No, I've seen it a lot.
I have not done a Stein.
Because I'm working on it. I'm working on like a reverse washing his sleeves and what is this called, chest piece and all that. But I obviously messed up hand painting it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I
Is it
have
enamel paint?
this all over, and I'm gonna spray paint it. But you know, like I've been using this 90% alcohol and
Yeah.
lighter
So one
fluid.
thing that people like is paint markers for that, or the Molotov.
Mm.
It on the edge. If you put the Molotov on there, it'll self-level. It won't go past the edge, and it will dry perfectly.
Yeah, that's
But
that
that
dribble
means
I
you
was
don't-
talking about.
Yeah.
It's
So
called
that's a power. Yeah. I think I've seen something like that at Home Depot for like
pretty small.
$17. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That's what I
fairly
need to get
yeah,
for
it
my
was
drill bit set.
yeah, it was fairly inexpensive, and it's not as bulky as some of the rotary tools that are out there.
In this catalog, this is $39.99.
What is the Dremel?
What?
The Dremel is $39.99.
Yep.
Hey,
Oh, no,
Uline has a good catalog
$59.
too, by the way, for
$59.99.
hobby mats. I use a clear hobby mat with picture on the back of it.
I use
You
a
can get
glass.
glass. You can get glass hobby mats too. I forgot about that.
There's tons of glass.
That's really good for cutting, especially masking tape. So you guys following any other builders on YouTube? Work in progress videos or anything?
I spend so much time doing other things. I try to keep up with who I'm supposed to be trying to keep up with, because I'm pushing myself to make contact in other places. So I don't make a whole lot of content. I put out a couple of videos when I wasn't doing anything else, but now I've got other things going on, and it's summer, so a lot of my time gets eaten up with activity too.
Yeah.
So I like to do a lot of hiking, swimming, and stuff. So I'm constant. Around here, you get lost in the woods. You walk off your front porch too far, and then we go swimming. You just disappear for the day. Gone.
I think that's a trick for everybody, pretty much.
So I was asking, do I need to clean up all this leftover paint as much as I can before repriming the parts, or can I just reprime like this with some paint residues and old primer residue left on this part? Because I've been working at it for like hours, but I don't think I can make it any cleaner than this.
I'm gonna say what is on there, and it is adhered. It is not coming off. That's good, because that means you got a good bond. But what you have removed is okay. Just make sure it's clean. Clean the part. This is where
when you do a car, right? You have your tack cloth to make sure it's clean. There's no dust on it. So now you can reapply your primer again.
Yeah.
But it's got to be clean. But yeah, if it's still some there, it's not going to harm anything unless you got gigantic bumps of paint. Now you're going to sand that away. But if you've got a good surface and you're happy with it, you're okay.
What kind of paint is it?
Yeah. But
is it lacquer or enamel?
All just acrylic.
Acrylic paint. You need alcohol to clean it.
Enamel primer.
Yeah.
You can use
alcohol.
alcohol.
You can use isopropyl and wipe it with.
Yeah, I've been doing that for hours and days, and this is my limit, I think.
Yeah, it's only going to go so
far. Cannot be perfect.
If you have an ultrasonic cleaner, you can dip it in alcohol and run it for a cycle or two, and it gets rid of all the flakes. Yeah, you take a toothbrush after that and rinse it in water.
It's not going to get much better, Brian. You're wasting your time. Because
you need power tools at that point.
Plastic, it's going to stay.
I want to make a Home Depot style ad with the music and just showing Hobby Tools commercial.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly
parody, just like a pure parody.
Because I don't have that great creativity, so I was like, well, what could I replicate that would fit the need? It's like, okay, I have these tools. Oh, I was like, I could do like a Home Depot or a Lowe's something. But yeah, a parody of it, and they would be Hobby Tools.
KitBash, doing it right. No,
You have a drill going through your hand, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be doing it wrong.
But yeah, I like that idea because that's what I've been trying to do is take a piece of something else as inspiration and then learn to turn it into what I need it to be. As a modality, as a vision I'm trying to create. So that you're right on track with a great idea. That's kind of how I created a couple of promos that I did for Hobby Nut and stuff. Because I had some tools, and it was just literally that. It was just a big, awesome picture of it up front because it was the best pick of 2021 at the time of all tools for me. Blah blah blah. I like that. It's a good idea. It's creative, and it also brings familiarity. When people see it, they're like, oh yeah, they'll go, oh, that's like Home Depot. They'll get it, and it's kind of already sunk in that it's okay if you think about it, and that's
it's a parody.
That's how
it's
you kind of ride someone else's wave. But it's still unique in a way because no one else is doing it.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I think it's awesome. That's what I mean. If I was a tool maker trying to push ads, I mean, I guess that's what I would be trying to do. Make a Gunpla Depot ad.
YouTube videos used to play on Facebook page, and when they blocked that feature, I lost so many views.
That sucks.
I know
Facebook and YouTube, Google do not like each other.
You kind of know what you're doing. Well, I trust you definitely know more than I know. But I'm interested in that you were just talking about. You said you lost some views because of that feature not being allowing that video to play on the page. It's a link that goes back to YouTube, and you have to play it there.
Takes traffic away from the site.
Right, instead of keeping you on the Facebook page. Right on.
That's a feature you could play on the app. You could play YouTube videos on the app originally and on the website, web page on the computer.
I used to like to share a lot of YouTube videos because it was music. I love music. It's a big thing.
Played, yeah.
I listen to a lot of music.
That actually is one thing.
What if we could make a web browser feature where it allows playback on the page? Because they're only blocking the URL. What if the web browser actually unblocked it and allowed access for users?
That would be really cool. I used Pandora, and I created, because you can create channels in Pandora. So I just titled it. I gave it a title like KitBash Gundam. I need to change it. And what it was a playlist of songs that I listen to when I'm building that are usually positive aspect or positive vibe, that are at least a high vibration. And because I don't listen to like heavy crazy metal, and I don't listen to a lot of rap, and then introduce that onto the page. Just I get people to go check out the link and start listening to the Model Rocketeer radio on Pandora.
I wonder if you can set a Discord chat up. Like, if you ever take this idea and made it larger, you'd probably want to produce and like Discord for better connections. Maybe
Right.
something else.
It's all going to depend on the network that I'm building. You know,
and if you're growing it, you have all that room to grow.
I think Discord is probably something that is going to be something to look at sooner rather than later.
Right. I don't have enough knowledge to weigh in, but I'm on board to listen and help make a decision on if we're trying to keep this go or we just ban the hangar. I mean, it is what it is.
What if you get people like us doing active builds? You put small commercials in showing hobby tools, then you went and did hosting services too.
Yeah.
For instance, do like a show format, but have your format made so you know what you're doing or showing.
Yeah. I mean, you can simply just base it on timer too, and just stop in the middle of what you're doing, and just lead up or back off of it, and then run your spiel.
This is probably something you do edit.
That's what me and Mike and Andrew have been talking about, is trying to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, we've
because like I said, I have skills. These just aren't like making it happen isn't my skill. But if I'm the guy that's talking, I'm usually the one that everybody's listening to.
And that's where it gets kind of ridiculous, because growing in content, it's something I've dealt with since 2011 YouTube Gundam videos.
Right, and I'm looking at hearing you talk about it. I'm like, okay. And I know we're all going to have to address this because or whatever. I'm going to have to address this, but anybody that's on board, we're all kind of looking at each other to help make a conscious decision as to where this is going to go. I get it. I'm going to take this to the top. My idea, if this is going to be the first time this ever gets said on the internet for the first time, here it is. My goal is to get enough support and get capital funding to open a franchise hobby store in my town and create a very large facility so I can have racing, RC racing, and start hosting all these build competitions from my hangar with all of my affiliates that I'm building in my network. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to do it under the umbrella of a franchise. It's a well-known franchise, but I know that can have its own pros and cons. But through that, I have the power to bring my ideas, and now I have an umbrella that I can put them under. So now I can run a web show every day. I go to work and just sit there and turn it on live and build whatever I am building every single day and create content and run commercials for whenever I want. But I have to stick to the corporate plan, but I have a facility to do it in. And then Friday night, I can be out there racing and offer a very large facility to a large demographic of people in my area to come and go racing. And if people that want to do it, charge them to play, pay to play. You break it, you bought it. You know what I mean? It's and then that way, when I get kids to come in, that's what I can do. I can offer these experiences to them and get them involved in something, after school activities, start building more and more programs and networks that run out of my shop. That's what I'm doing. And I'm making my content sitting right here with you guys in a different location, literally. That's all it is. But still trying to do the same thing. But that's ultimately my goal. And that's what I'm shaking hands and trying to get people to hear me out or give me advice as to what do I do next? How do I do this? I got thumbs up and green lights every which way, but I need more support and capital funding.
Well, Hiko, I definitely agree that, you've been dealing with this, like you said, since 2011. So you have a hell of a lot more experience in this department than I do. I do know that Discord is a very, very popular method right now.
Right.
Whether it's going to still be a more popular method, 6 months, 18 months from now, who knows? But
I think I might be confused. I'm sorry. I don't mean Discord. I mean Stream OBS.
Oh, okay.
For connecting to Facebook streaming live services.
That changes everything. You said Discord, and we all went.
Okay. I was saying Discord because you can put music overlays and video chats and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's one of the reasons I was talking about that.
And I do like that. That's cool.
Yeah. So like, edits, you can put small pieces of ads for hobby tools, something that's
Yeah.
helpful, someone can see. Make it consistent so people will start seeing it, exposed to it. The same with promoting. I put it on my videos, make it consistent, keep pushing it.
Yeah.
Just increasing the quality over and over and over is going to attract more people. They're going to see that it's informative, it's a show they can watch, then they get stuff out of it too. Like they
Yeah.
can live stream and connect.
Like I know that unfortunately a couple of times that I've done the host and the recording stuff, because unfortunately I'm not in the middle of a kit bash right now. I've got a
Yeah.
couple of kits that I'm working on, and it's kind of been one of those last minute things of, Mike's got to go do something. So he's like, "Hey, can you record this for me?" And I'm like, "Sure."
Oh,
So
that's a big oof.
so and I mean, I don't mind doing it, but I don't have a lot of YouTube experience that way. So
There
I
might
mean,
be a way to do a setup format. If you
yeah,
make it work, it works fine. Once it starts growing, you just stick to the format and just go with it because it'll work itself.
yeah,
And it's pretty simple. I mean, you just think about
Exactly.
what's working.
But that's
Like
what's
you can
important
see,
when I built this is to make it was easy, or there's a basic format, and then that way it can be replicated and duplicated, and it's a
yeah,
solid operation. That's what I'm looking to do: is build a solid operation. Because at some point, if this continues to go, what do? I can't take it with me. So from there, like I said, I'm trying to build this name. So that name it is going to live past me, but I want it to stand for something. And you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? So that's where, but I totally get it. You're right. And like I said, I'm just really glad. I feel very blessed to, have gotten a chance to meet you. And we're doing this because, like Andrew just said, I'm no YouTube professional, but at this point in time now, also because I'm a life coach, I understand something. I don't give a fuck
Yeah, pretty
what
much. Yeah.
people think. You know what I mean? And that's where I said it's about my mindset. I'm tired because I've held myself back in life for a very long time until I learned all this because of other people. So
Yeah,
people
once
out
you
there,
start building
like,
Mecca, it's different.
you
It's a lot
do
of
what
fun.
you want to do. I had a horrible experience in my life that changed my life overnight, and because of that, I had nothing else to do but fix it. And when I did is when I realized it, where I was still would have been on the path I was on. So I got lucky, and I was homeless for a while, addicted to drugs and stuck in programs till I got my shit together. And when I did, I came out a whole different person, and now I have my own business. So anyway,
Yeah.
fast forward, here we are. Um, that's what I wanted. It changed my life, and I was like, wow. I figured out who I was. I'd lost myself, and I was really always worried about what other people thought of me. And it was an epiphany moment in my life, man. This is what changed the ball game.
Yeah, it's
I was
crazy stuff.
like, damn. So it's good, but it's been a hard life, man. My parents died early in life, and I watched it all. It sucked, and I had to do it, and I'm very strong for it. But I'm here to motivate people with that strength. You know, I I have a love of life, so I'm not here to hate on people. If we just can't be friends, I'm not making enemies. I'm not here. I'm not going to waste my time with an enemy. You either my friend or you just don't exist.
So yeah, I just like
You'll come
making
back
videos
around.
and content. That's just really fun for me. It's
You know.
it's just a fun process to edit. I mean,
No, I can see
you
how it
see a
could
lot.
be. It's very
Yeah,
interesting. So the more I do, which is always applied science, you get practice makes progression. So I just got to keep doing little things and keep doing little things, and it'll come along. But I also know that I'm going to be able to maybe uh, maybe even be able to afford to pay someone to edit videos for me if I just get the footage, stuff like
video
that.
edits are easy. You just need to make the right edits though, meaning
Right on.
like get the content straight.
But
Like
it
more
is
like
exciting.
highlights.
It is
I don't
very
need to say
exciting.
anything else. Yeah,
Very creative individual, a problem solver.
I just work on content mostly, thinking of ideas, things to do or show, changing up basically. And it attracts some people, but not very many, because most people rather just buy what's popular, mostly
Right
at
on.
least.
Yeah, I do see that because I'm that guy that struggles with people that are like that because I'm the rock that breaks the wave. I've always been different. I'm just not a lemming. I just don't. I can't, and it shows
A
in
lemming.
everything that I do. I just can't do it. But I also believe that it's a blessing in disguise because it forces me to be extra creative and think outside the box to maybe get that, or with the right coaching, because we it's always about getting coached too. I have mentors, or I wouldn't be good at what I do now because of it. But I'm always being coached to learn something. You can't be set in your ways and learn. So I'm down. Like I said, learn from you, man. You might be half my age, but it's a testament to your knowledge, what you know of a high functioning skill, compared to some of the very hard labor skills that you may never ever see or learn that I know, and I hope you never have to. But that's cool. But I would like to learn what you know, and that's where my growth comes from.
One of the biggest things is probably just finding tutorial videos, looking at other builders, basically content creators. Look at the tutorials, how to, and you'll learn everything basically. That's the whole trick.
Right,
I learned
right.
everything I know from one show actually. I watched. It's
I
Plamo
get it.
Toscaruso. It's a Japanese Plamo building channel.
Okay.
They do a lot of Gundam builds on there. So
There was one that I watched that was all Japanese or something. It was so hard to watch, but it was so cool just to watch them do something. I was like, dude, they're legit pro builder.
They kill model kits like crazy.
Yeah.
I've been watching Madworks channel a lot on YouTube.
I subscribe to them. I'd like to check them out because I like their tools. I don't know anything about their company because I'm all about what the company stands for also. And then if you produce a quality tool, it's like, man, I want to represent your tool because like you're a badass company, but you got badass tools, and I got a bunch of people that that's how I find my loyalties. But that's the same reason why people buy Nikes or somebody doesn't buy Nikes. I don't know.
Find a good diversity in companies you gotta buy from. Other companies sell good hobby tools that
I don't.
other people don't
I'm
have.
not one of those haters. I like to spread it around because there's certain companies that have my interest for certain reasons, and that's cool. I mean, I like that, and that's what keeps the market really alive and fresh. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, there's always somebody out there trying to make you a better product, man. And if we give them a little bit of time and space and check it out, or feedback on something new they're trying, dude, they could change the industry overnight or whatever. You never know. So like I said, I'm a cheerleader. It's important to do that for people. And if you get someone a chance, you never know what that'll bring me. 'Cause I'm not trying to be rich and famous, but you know what? I'm pretty wealthy with friends and family, and that's important because I don't want for a whole lot because I have so many friends and family. If I need $5, I'm like, Johnny, can I get $5? I got $5. I got to give it back. I get that, but that's the point. I don't have to want for anything because I have people that will take care of what I need when I need it. And as a corporation, I built that was a very fundamental. Make sure that that I was doing the right thing. Get involved with the right companies, if I can stand behind what they're doing and go full force. Because I don't want to be pulling punches.
I feel like that's a quote from Tropic Thunder, actually. I feel like that is.
Full force. I never saw that movie, but I know of it. So
it's a good movie. Really funny stuff.
I spent many years living under a rock that I put there on purpose.
Okay, he's talking about the visual effects and the landmine and the dude stepped on it. He was like, this looks really realistic. Just holding the head, just dangling that dude's head, and I was like, yep.
I'm just trying to get a few gunpla together so I can try and decorate my room a little. So
You ever thought about getting one of those DTOF shelves?
Huh?
DTOF shelves, the gloss acrylic ones.
That's actually my headboard. That's actually the headboard for my bed.
Well, you want your gunpla to fall when you bring your girlfriend over and stuff, man. You got to protect the gunpla. Put them on the wall, keep them safe, not on the bed.
Oh.
The bed
Just the late night show version now.
It's just not a safe place. It never is. You don't put your water bottle up there. You put your gum up there, on the headboard overnight. But
kind of like Spider-Man, really.
Yeah. But unless you're gluing them down, you can glue them down. It's fun. I mean, that'll help. But then they're going to be all wonky if one of them bent over.
It's not bad.
Trust me, the girlfriend still lives in Illinois. I don't think she's going to come down here And even if she did come down here, my parents wouldn't let me be in the same bed with her.
Oh, maybe it's good for her then.
Yeah, probably.
Listen to you, sly dog.
That's okay.
Anyway,
She's
I don't
it's okay,
know. I
girlfriend's
I
fine with
want to.
her.
I'd like to have a nice display cabinet. I mean, you can see behind my shoulder, it's just a black Walmart special with some of my kits I put in it, and then
Yeah,
do unbuilt kits on top of it. Because I'm building that battleship and then to me a a tank.
Not bad.
yeah. Well, the problem is that my bed takes up most of my room.
Oh, you're one of those single guys with the ginormous triple queen size ginormo bed, right?
It's a king size bed, but
You ever sleep in an 8x10 concrete?
Don't. It's not a good plan.
Concrete floor.
But
Does it taste pretty
honestly,
I
good?
don't
my
recommend
brother
it.
Does it taste cold
my
when you
brother
sleep
gave
face down?
Two stars, it had running water and 3 squares.
So it was comfortable then. You get a 1 star.
well, my brother gave me
I've
this
been in a
bed,
1 star. That
so
was fun. Mm.
my brother gave me this bed, so
I'm thinking about a trucker stop when I think about 1 star
Oh,
hotel.
dude. Just think about all the chicks he banged on.
Oh my god.
That was me
Wait,
rooting for you now.
this is the adult version of the show. I forgot.
I know
What
it just
time is
went
it right now?
completely R-rated. I'm trying to keep it like at least R-rated, but I mean, you gotta throw it out there. Yeah, I feel
So
like
we
your older
took
brother.
the
I'm like, Mike, you got your older brother's bed. I'm like, dude, you know chicks that banged on that bed, Mike. You better live up to my reputation, Mike.
so they got a call from corporate and said they took all the work vans to the movie theaters, and there's just nothing but vans parked in the movie theater parking lot. And all the kids came out from the movie late at night.
Oh
All
God.
they saw was white vans.
Like Dan, like, oh God, they're here for all of us.
Yeah, they're coming
man.
right for us.
I
Free
used to keep
tickets.
so you can name your Wi-Fi networks and stuff. Be like, FBI van number 6 or whatever.
Feel bad for that guy. I have to explain that on the insurance claim.
oh, trust me, I've seen some pretty interesting names for Wi-Fi. Don't tase me, bro.
Oh yeah. I got one right now across the street because the neighbor's apartment across the street is 36, and it says "Don't trust the bitch in 36."
What the heck?
The
Wow.
Wi-Fi password says "Don't."
That's hot.
It's like,
Hold on, wait. This went very adult for the show. Like really
all right,
quick.
that'll be the last one. We'll stop there. Anyway, don't trust that one. I was like, man, really? So the whole neighborhood. That's just a call out. The whole neighborhood knows.
I
It's
feel like
like,
it's a
oh,
horror movie,
Mhm.
honestly.
kinda. It's strange, but it felt good. At least I knew it was a heads up. I was like, cool. All right, at least
Yeah.
I know not to talk to
It's
this
one of
one.
those moments. Oops. I was included some parts and sanded some seam lines, and I got
I'm putting this
more.
I'm putting this Destiny Gundam up instead of the other Destiny Gundam I have.
Is that the revive high grade?
No, this one's the Heine Weston Foos custom.
Oh, that's the original high grade series ones. Okay,
It sounds like a
But
Disney
yeah,
movie.
this is an HGCE revive.
that's a really clean looking kit, especially the colors.
I want a glow forge.
The colors are amazing, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That would look great in fluorescent colors. I wonder if you can get a spray can from Tamiya from that and put a black light on it.
No doubt.
I'm actually still trying to create like a Destiny Impulse, but I had to use the torso from another Weston Foos custom just to try and then of course I painted this spot right here to make it look like it's receiving a satellite system.
Nice.
Hola, bienvenidos, Estados Unidos.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna excuse myself for a couple of minutes, but I'll be right back.
I might do the
Okay.
same.
Gotta see what time is it. Ooh.
What time is it?
Oh, I think I need to get off.
101 Eastern here for me.
Well, I need to get off for the night. I'll see you guys later.
All right, Mike, it's good talking to you, man. We'll see you guys soon.
All right, bye.
I'm gonna wait here for Andrew to come back.
so I've been trying to add people to the chat. Some people
Right
I've
on.
been trying to teach and show them how to paint.
But yeah, this catalog's got so many train parts. That's what I guess maybe I find it attractive because it's got, you know, all the special train goodies that I need. I just spent $1 million in like 2 seconds, I think.
Oh gosh. So I gotta figure out what kit I want to paint after this Woods kit. I have all those kits I showed, and I have no idea what I want to paint. I gotta figure that one out.
I mean, maybe it's a good problem to have because I'm like, I got one that I'm working on, and then a few that are just in the bag. One at a time. One at a time. Sounds like a good problem to have, my friend.
Using the 4th camera.
Huh? Is that mine?
I forgot.
What?
He'll be right back. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I painted this up a while back. This P Bandai kit. I showed it on the Facebook group, but the TR6.
Oh man.
Ah,
It was a fun paint build because it's really simple. The paint colors are like super easy to get.
awesome.
It's fun. It's a big kit. I mean, the size of it. The
Okay,
length.
so the P Bandai kits, what are those? Those are just premium. How can it be premium? I think the box art sucks.
You can only buy 2 kits.
It's limited. The translation means it's limited production item versus not quality. It's a mistranslation.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just don't see what the big deal is because I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, take away from it either because a lot of people are gonna hate on that, but at the same time, it's like that's the problem. People just get so worked up over it. They just chill out. So
Premium Bandai is just an
I don't have any
advertising banner. Yeah.
but I see them when people talk about them. So yeah, what is that exactly? Quickly, if you could tell me what is that?
It's like limited production still because they don't know how many people want to buy it.
Okay.
This means that they have no market data for North America, so they're not an international company. They're domestic to Japan, so they don't have bought consumer data for the United States. So
Okay.
they offer limited sale because of that.
Okay.
They don't know how many people want to buy it. They're not going to spend money to buy that data.
100 of them. That's it. There's only 100. You're done. Sorry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
They don't want to overspend. They're not going to put their money in
No,
something
that's cool. I didn't know that. I was curious, like, because I didn't do my research. Yeah, I know I could have done my research too, but at the same time, I got things to do. It's not on my list of priorities. So quickly, when I hear it from somebody, I know. Interesting. That's really cool. Because I would now maybe look for a couple P Bandai kits that I got to have. That'd be cool.
That's partly why there's limited production for Gundam kits because they produce domestically for Japan. They don't know how to produce and distribute in foreign countries internationally because they're stuck into the Japanese niche market of productions. They don't focus on that consumer data for economics. They're more of what you consider the difference between macro and microeconomics. They're on the micro side because they're managing it in a domestic way. They cannot gauge international, how do you say, consumer bases. Yeah. They can't do that. They don't have the resources since they're so small.
That makes sense, but at the same time, no, I get that.
That's the biggest problem for them, growing pains.
I feel like that's kind of the underestimated the United States back in the day.
Yeah, definitely.
They didn't have enough.
Tomy actually beat them out technically in the United States at the time for sales, from what I understand.
Oh, I see.
I'm so impressed with their industriousness. I mean, because I study some of the Eastern culture or religions, philosophies. So it's really important because it's like what our country isn't even 300 years old. So I look at Japan being thousands of years old. So I look at that and I put that in that respect. But their industriousness, they make some incredible model kits. Hasegawa, you know all the brands, but they make these model kits that
or their tools and dies in their factories, and they have processes that are just incredible. I would love to see something of that scale or caliber come to the States. Man, because that'd be like one of those jobs I want to vie for as a CNC machine operator to do injection molding. God, wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah,
But
that's what
you
they're
see how
talking about,
clean
making new
everything is.
places.
It's all very perfect. Very
That's
cool.
why I go to a lot of resin building too, because there's other options besides just one kit maker. I buy a lot of
Right.
Kotobukiya kits too.
I do
Esagawa,
hear that word a
because of
lot.
Macross stuff, yeah, I buy that. Armored Core, mainly Kotobukiya.
Right.
Bandai Macross kits too. Zoids for
Right.
Kotobukiya. And just
Yeah.
anything I can find, really.
Right on. So, because when you look at when you're talking about that, that's the way I see. In or out, guys. That's the way I see all the scale model world, where I'm just getting little bits and pieces of different things. But I do know I've never worked with resin, so those are very special thing to the gunpla world too. But
Mhm.
yeah, you're well versed in all the different companies. Like I'm with whatever it is I'm trying to accomplish. I didn't know it was that complicated or that not complicated, but very sophisticated. There we go, sophisticated. It's a really big network. The metaverse is really sophisticated in there.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
that's one of the biggest things, because you want to buy a kit that's P Bandai, you can't get it. It's because the company doesn't know. They don't know anything.
That's awesome, dude. I totally want a crossbone. I need to get like a limited crossbone. That's my favorite mobile suit.
You
But
can get the Ghost, the X0 Master Grade. That's a
oh, that
pretty good
sounds
looking kit, yeah. You can take Molotov to the kit, make it with chrome. That should be fine.
gotta have.
And gloss black and chrome. To make it look amazing.
That sounds sick. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. That's cool.
I'm not sure if you heard of this news, but Bandai plans to allow their builders to like 3D scan the any model kit, actually any official Bandai Gundam kits, and you can actually use the kit you built to play to play the game you want. Like use the model kit you built as a, how should I say it, like the game character.
Right. An avatar.
Yeah, avatar. That's it. In a multiplayer game. Have I ever heard of the news? It's quite. I think I heard about it very recently. That's why I think that your KitBash Gundam, idea would have a lot of potential in the future. Because you can actually scan any custom model kit and you can use it as your own unique avatar. So yeah, it's not just gonna end up as some like vague ideas. You can actually play the Gundam you made, and I think it'll be really popular in the future.
Oh, that's the
Yeah.
new GBN scanning device they're trying to make.
Yeah.
For video game use.
It's really neat.
Say,
It is a good idea.
who had Nintendo had that one game. I don't know if it was Skywatch or something else, but they had scannable characters you can buy for collectibles, and it's just a system scanning code device.
Huh.
I thought it was interesting for the time, or what it was at least.
Right. It was ahead of its time. It was ahead of the capabilities at the time. The thought was ahead of the capability even. But yeah, it's coming back again with this virtual ability. And that's what my son is kind of like leading me into believing how this is working out. That the online, that virtual space is going to be really important. And that's kind of what we've created in a way, but we're still doing this interaction face to face, but it's more of a controlled environment with those that want to.
Yeah,
So,
pretty much. It's optional for us.
Right, but it's still kind of that on that ability, which this could be integrated into that, like you're saying, Brian, in the future. That ability as it comes online, that's virtual, we might have the opportunity to do the same and just slide into that, or just whatever it is, merge the technologies together. I don't know. We'll see when we get there.
Did you watch the new Build Diver series?
Right?
Yeah. That's what they're trying to replicate, I think, in real life.
That makes sense.
It's not too
Because
bad.
now, have you, right? You've seen the, what is that? Sword Art Online. Oh God.
Oh yeah.
So here we got this virtual world that everybody is going to be going into, right?
Mhm.
And what about this? What if it was so deep and you dive so deep where you could be stricken with some sort of virtual disease where you cannot wake up? Think about this. This is real, or it wouldn't have ever been created because there's no such thing as an original idea. If someone is saying it, it's already been happening. It's happened before, or it's gonna. History repeats itself. Just be aware of that kind of thing. So we're coming up with these ideas. It's already happened. You know how many civilizations were on this planet long before this one ever any of these were? Yeah, there's technology beyond measure. This is just one of those real interesting ones where instead of being the human component, we want to be distance ourselves from it. And what that is like we're distancing ourselves from our emotions. So as long as I don't have to really be me, you can say whatever you want to me because you hurt my avatar's feelings. You don't hurt me
Okay,
because
so yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
no, just
I
that's
get
just
what you
how
mean.
I see it is. And at the same time, like, how does that make sense? If somebody is saying that to me, but I'm pretending that doesn't bother me because it doesn't bother my real. You see what I'm saying? We don't live in a real world anymore, where
I'm
I
literally
know
holding a lizard leg.
and sweat your ass off and dig a hole.
That's what a lizard leg looks like apparently. And
Okay.
skin and bones, yeah. It
That's
looks
what
like
I
a
know.
mechanical frame, like
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
so
It makes
weird.
total sense if you think about it. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so weird. That's a Zoids kit for you though. This is more.
That's what I like about it, though.
It's a good looking kit. I'm closing a seam line gap right there. So I've been cleaning and sanding seam lines to this whole leg section here.
Okay.
And it's a huge pain.
Yeah,
I'll post photos of this.
it's a huge work.
It'll look good though once the
Yep.
primer's on.
Yep.
See, that's weird. I'll be sanding with brown primer from Mr. Hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Surfacer.
Yeah, the 1000 brown weathering matte.
Oh, okay.
I'll do that one.
I got the gray 1000.
Yeah. So I finally got these two pieces glued seam lines on these shield booster and binders. So I have to do these still. That's gonna be dry tomorrow. Then
Nice.
I got glue on the leg.
The
With the next
waiting
one.
game.
Yeah, I have to do it that way. You can't
Yeah,
force
absolutely. There is no substitute for patience. I don't
it,
care what
especially
you
when using glue. People are
in
using
life.
the SP Mr. Hobby cement.
Okay.
The SP is a special fast dry.
Yeah,
Instead of using a thinner, it's actually adhesive based,
because
so
I
it
have the
melts the
deluxe.
plastic.
I don't know if I'm a big fan of it.
Is that the deluxe right there?
Yeah, I just
That
don't think.
actually has a resin part filler in there. Did you know that?
No.
That is good for doing seam lines because you can put it on top of the seam line also. And what
Okay.
happens is that resin layer, it fills the gaps, so when you sand it down,
That
even
makes.
though you
That's
see the
why.
line, it's a clear surface over the line still. When you
Yep.
put primer on it, it looks clean.
Okay. Because I did notice that. I was like, wow, this does leave just like you said. But I was like, is that right? So you didn't use it very often, and it doesn't really weld styrene together the way I'd like. But it is an
Yeah,
adhesive, but it is not a solvent.
it's a resin in there. It's a clear
Yeah.
resin mix.
So
Yeah.
that makes sense
For
now.
Mr. Hobby Cement Deluxe.
When I do that, why it leaves that film, but it works great when I sand it. And I did notice when I painted it, I was like, this is bitching. That's why it's more or less like you said, a filler. Cool. And that's why it's important to know your tools, boys and girls.
Yeah. So it's
Ladies,
like it's a light
M's,
adhesive for
whatever's
polystyrene. And you get
right
into
on.
putty, like which is a lacquer-based, very thick pigment. Then you get to epoxy putty. That is 2 parts chemically activating. That's a really hard. It's as hard as styrene. Then you get
Some old
into this third part one, which is, I forgot what the name of it, UV resin, which is soft for mods.
Yeah.
It dries softer than resin or indoor epoxy putties, I believe.
Anybody use this, Andrew? I know you've seen it, at least the name brand testers. That
Oh yeah.
testers.
Oh yeah, I got
That
testers.
stuff's good.
Yeah, I've got lots of testers.
You like it?
I don't.
I find it shrinks. I tried to fill something and it shrank really badly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does tend to, but all of their adhesives tend to shrink up pretty bad.
So what time is it where you guys are at?
It's 1:15 here
It's
a.m.
about 12:09
Yeah.
here.
10:17.
So me and Brian are on the East Coast. We're representing the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm Pacific Northwest, so.
Hey, all you guys should be getting something in the mail soon.
Oh, I forgot to ask. I'm looking for camo masking patterns. I used to use the guy that had, what is it, latex camo mask sheets, and you peel them off like masking tape.
Oh yeah, Mike got some of those. They're
I
awesome.
need to find somebody who prints them and sells them because
I
they're really
used to
cheap to get. The tracing pattern.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought about that, but what I need is a soft edge. So I
A
want the
lot of
latex ones. Yeah,
Okay, that makes
they're
sense.
softer, they'll go on, and plus they don't leave edges as sharp, so they're good for shading. I use that for a blending method.
Cool.
I'll be getting some videos showing that method too.
I cut my own for doing camo. I cut my own mask. Right,
Yeah.
like I'll tape it. I'll put down a couple strips of masking tape and I'll cut my own patterns. That's how I got my command quanta. So
Yeah, this one it's just got so many. It's got a lot of options. Like, but he said it leaves a real hard edge, but it does do what it needs to do, and it does it pretty well. And I can get different sizes. You can use it to create, really different sizes. So that's a plus. I will give
So
it
you
that.
guys
So
have any custom builds you got planned for the summer to finish?
Again?
You got any summer plans to finish custom builds? This is probably going to be the one kit I paint this summer. This is Wade's kit.
well, I've got my heavy arms that I'm adding a pile of plastic plate and detail for, and I'm gonna do custom paint on that.
It'll probably be my master grade Jesta. I'd like to get it done.
Yeah, my heavy arms is probably going to be my big summer project in the respective. I've got a bunch of kits that I've snapped together that I need to paint or scribe or do whatever I'm going to do with them. I might try taking a couple of them and swapping some parts around and bashing some stuff, see what I come up with, but not anything specific.
That makes sense. This is kind of a weird setting to where we're all in our little pockets, like own individual rooms, streaming into one video service.
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting to see when you get other builders on.
I was pointing at Brian too. I was like, Brian's down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? I don't have a specific plan, but I had this idea of making that's a high resolution frame, astray red frame, I think.
I would put a Destiny pack on that. I would love to see it.
I want to make something like astray red frame that looks like the All Might from the My Hero Academia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that would be really cool,
Yep.
But I don't have like a detailed plan yet.
Well, like I
the
said,
best laid plans of mice and men do often go awry.
Yeah, this is my
Coming through my trusty Micro Mart catalog. God, I love this thing.
What if I can get some paint markers for detailing the frame here on this kit? I can get some like Gundam markers that are lacquer.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of different ones. Because what are mine?
I can just hand paint details in the frame too if I had to.
got the metallic set of these, but I'm not sure because I can't read it obviously.
If
What
it
it
gets
is,
top coat, it'll be fine.
lacquer or enamel.
What do you mean? The Gundam markers?
Yeah, I'm not
They're
sure.
all, they're not
There's a couple
enamel,
different ones.
they're lacquer, I think. Lacquer based acrylic, I think.
That's why they're fast drying. You can
So
wipe
Yeah,
them with alcohol and stuff.
they're not acrylic though. Yeah, they're not acrylic.
Oh,
This-
they're
like-
not,
this
Okay,
is this
plating
is what
on,
I've
right?
got so
Glass
far.
table, I tap it on the glass table and use a brush on the marker,
Nice.
and then put it on from there if I can. But yeah, if I get it on the
You
glass,
gotta
it's
sand
just
the edges down there to make it blend in and fit.
It's just in.
see.
It's got poster tack stuck on. I'm just
Yeah.
in place just to kind of get the idea of what I'm doing with it. But
nice.
see.
Okay.
I'm just
That's
like
the-
I
One
said.
thing that's
Like I said, it's
See,
work in progress. It's very early. It's not. I haven't gotten very far with it. So
Nice.
I don't blame you. There's some good work in there.
it's just
I
a.
gotta figure out what I'm doing with this kit now.
I just want to take my time with this one, and make it try and make it as kick-ass as I can. So I'm not in a rush with it. When it gets finished, it gets finished.
Right. That's what I want out of this Master Grid Jesta, because I need for it to be a nice piece.
Well, what I would like to do is, I eventually, take my heavy arms when it's done, and maybe a couple other master grades, and do them up in kind of when I was a kid and I used to play MechWarrior and BattleTech. I had my own little squad of painted mechs for the MechWarrior board game, and
Okay.
kind of what I would like to do is build my own diorama with several different MSs in a hangar situation in my old colors, and kind of that's my own little diorama hangar thing going on.
That'd be cool.
That's my plan, but I mean, that's a ways away because I haven't even really finished one of them yet. So what?
Hey, we got dream big.
All right, and the monster now wants to. Yeah, this is our this is my baby. He's a 14 or 16-month-old Maine Coon kitten who already weighs like 20 some pounds.
Male, female?
Male.
I see.
No, not the cord.
Oh yeah, like a
As you
professional
can
soldering gun.
see, he's not.
I could use a professional soldering setup.
Yeah, he's not a little cat, not by a long shot. All right, go get them.
Get them. Yeah, mine wanted in, wanted
So
out.
what kind of hobby paints do you guys like using the most?
What's that?
What kind of paint do you like, guys?
I'm a Vallejo guy because I don't do that much custom work right now. You know what I mean? So I don't have any input on craziness. I just have really good basic stuff, which is all an upgrade to a basic airbrush system, so I can do larger quantities of work now. But it's all Vallejo, like camouflage paints and metal colors.
Yeah. I wonder if I should use these for the kit, for the camo. Although I need different colors. I want lacquer paint.
Is that black and brown, or is that a black and tan?
Beige
Brown.
colored?
Brown and tan?
Yeah.
I
I use
can't
these for.
tell.
That's to
Like
me,
good
it's
depth.
brown and sand.
Okay. Yeah, that would work.
Except it's acrylic though. I don't want to use this for enamel mix for weathering pigments.
No,
gotcha.
yeah.
I definitely want the lacquer paint. So I have to order for the whole kit.
See,
All my decisions are based on whatever's in my bank account too. Like, if I need supplies, I can't afford them. I mean, I'm just not getting supplies.
I think I'm just gonna spray the whole kit the brown primer, and then paint the frame and the colors for the armor after that. Because
Uh,
once the brown is on there,
That would just
all I have to
streamline
do
your
is put the
process.
masking tape. Yeah,
my,
It would streamline your process, and then it would give you an overall cohesion. Honestly, even though you start covering it up, it was still started with a base coat that was all the same.
yeah, I think so. I was looking through paints in my closet. I had only a few options. I have no primer. I used it all. Two two kits at 172 scale can be painted with one of the Mr. Hobby paint primer bottles,
I was gonna
which
say,
is a lot.
is that what you were using? Like, but you're doing with a airbrush, right? Because this is just a rattle can of
Yeah,
Mr.
I'm using
Surface.
the airbrush one. It's
And then,
1,500 finishing.
that the Vallejo
Yeah,
primer.
when it comes to paint, I use
That
Vallejo.
works bad. I started spraying that battleship with this, and I was like,
yeah.
that was a test run, and I was really impressed.
I have a lot of Vallejo and AK stuff, and I use acrylics because my wife is super sensitive to smells, and
Yeah,
so even
alcohol base is okay.
yeah, because it doesn't linger,
Mhm.
and because my wife is because she's sensitive to smells and it can induce migraines with her. Um, I tend to stay away from the lacquers and the enamels just because of the lingering smells that you get from it. Um, and I don't really have a
Yeah,
place that I can gas out kits very long. So
there's special booths that are carbon filtered
yeah,
that
and I
work good apparently.
yeah I've looked into the spray booths, and unfortunately for me right now they're just a little cost ineffective. Um,
Yeah,
you know, I, I'm I got a wife and kids. They're as you know, I enjoy my hobby and I love doing my hobby, but there are limits to that. And
Mhm.
I don't have $350 to go drop on a booth. I just don't. So
yeah. I saw guys make them out of Walmart tubs of the clear ones,
I
which is interesting. I've
And
seen
then
that.
you can get some
See,
filters.
that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I want to see.
yeah.
Mine's a downdraft. I can turn it on, and it sucks it straight down.
Yeah.
And then I
See,
got holes in it. It's filled with polyfill from Walmart or whatever from pillows. So it pulls the air in, it catches it on the filters, and then because I use acrylic, it doesn't stink, and then it just circulates pure air or air back out.
You
Work.
know, it's kind of interesting how much space you save making hobbies. You only need a small desk to build a high grade kit and do some mods,
yeah,
really.
and I mean
Yeah,
I got a 20-inch box fan that I literally take a furnace filter and I tape it in front of it and I spray in front of it
yeah,
and it catches all the particulate and that's that. Like I can spray pretty well anywhere, anytime with the acrylics because I don't have the gas issue and the fan catches all the particulate and I'm good to go. So it's kind of a hillbilly redneck setup, but you know it works.
Hell yeah, that's what I call mine. Mine's the po' boy downdraft airbrush table.
yeah. I get stuck painting too much, unfortunately. But it
See,
makes it look good. So
no,
I
and
hate
I
painting.
get
I
that.
hate it, but I do it.
I get it that the enamels are the finish you get with the enamels is or the acrylic or the enamels and the lacquers is superior to acrylics in a lot of ways, like in pretty well every way. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not in a circumstance where I can use them.
Have you ever tried weathering washes, enamels
Yeah, I have.
for the pigments?
Yeah, I have
Okay.
used it for weathering. And
You
because
can
it's
use those on acrylics really well
yeah,
It's like
because they don't melt each other.
yeah, and because I'm using it in a small amount, I don't have the smell issue as much, right? Because when you're weathering, it's like you you're just getting the tip of the brush, and most of it ends up on a paper towel that you end up throwing out anyways. So
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things I see is the lacquer bases. When you use the enamels after, they're
mhm,
meant for the reverse washing.
Yeah.
If you don't mask, reverse washing is a big thing on resin
Hmm.
and other kits too. But acrylic, you can do it if you use gloss, then you use a wax base like Future,
Yeah.
then do your panel lines and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did that for a long time. It works good.
Yeah. I got a giant bottle of future
The
floor cleaner in my cabinet specifically for that reason.
the biggest thing I can't stress is that
Aircraft
people
canopy?
buy flat color paints. You get buy the gloss colors for acrylics to get the shine,
Yeah.
to get the panel lines done right. Then you put your flat top coats on after that,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
blends everything.
Like I said,
I'm gonna end up doing a long shaded tutorial, camo shaded plus weathering, damage details. It's gonna cover a lot of things from shading from different layers, camo layers, shading around the camo,
yeah.
then onto frame, dry brushing, into weathering wash, then armor weathering wash, then sponge spotting armor detail scrapes,
Yeah.
then into a full wash on everything after that and drying.
Yeah.
I'll
I've
probably get
actually
into that whole process.
I've been watching a lot of your videos recently, and I'm not trying to pump you up or anything, but your videos are super helpful, and it's always good to see how somebody else does it. So
Yeah, that's the one thing is that you just got to make the content. If somebody sees it, it just makes it better so you can learn from it. And that's why
the
I follow a lot of people too. I add a lot of people on Facebook so I can follow and add them
yeah
and see what they're posting.
yeah our at my local hobby store, one of the guys that works there, he creates content, and I've been watching his stuff and your stuff, and it's all just to see how somebody else does it, right? And uh, just I don't know, just to see how other people are doing it and how it's working out for them. Maybe
That's the
learn
best
something
part,
along the
actually.
way.
I think the biggest thing I learned from this is the Zoids builder groups. Okay, two groups: Armored Core and Zoids. They do a lot of weapon system, a lot of armor system mods.
Hmm.
You'll see a lot of kits of different weapon systems that interchange, like Liger Zero systems.
Hmm.
But when you put those mods and what you do into Gundam building, it's like you see a whole new different way to mod and customize.
Yeah.
Especially Armored Core, since it's so dependent on heavy weapon loadouts.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. I kind of miss like building Gundam is fun, but I definitely miss the bulkiness of like Armor Core and
Yeah.
Frontline or Front Mission and stuff like that. Like it's just a different design of mecha, and they're the bigger, beefier version.
And I have an old manual I could probably show. This is 172 AC manual from
Yeah.
Code and this is a 172 gun sniper manual.
Yeah.
They're both
Nice.
different types, but they're both the same scale
Yeah.
Right.
from the same company. Anyways, you can see an insert kind of like this parts list layouts
Yeah.
type. So this is just basic of what these kits come with. And you get some color insert details, I think. And the color guide in the back. They're not like small kits by any chance. It's just they're hard to get nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, their artwork on the back too.
Yeah. I've actually gone looking for a few of those, the Armor Core and stuff like that, and there are, at
I
least
need
for
to
me.
buy two more.
Hmm.
I need to buy two more of the kits.
Yeah.
Two more Armored Core kits for my collection will be finished. I
I
think I need to get a.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
they're just not available up here. Like this,
Oh,
they're
I'm
just
not.
they're almost like talking to a couple of the guys at our hobby store. They're like, yeah, good luck because we're looking for those. We can't get them. And it's pretty bad when the guys that are working in the hobby stores are talking to the distributors and the distributors are saying good luck. Yeah,
HLJ is the only place that gets them restock nowadays.
Yeah.
Plus 1999 Co. They have a few restocks. I don't see them too often. But I think I need to get 2 kits from Armored Core. I have to get either the higher gunmetal kit, 172,
Yep.
or the ambient from Armored Core. I think I could also probably look at getting Project Magnus. It's a blue frame type,
Yeah.
a high-speed craft frame. They're like different model kits, but I need them for my collection to be finished. Because I want to have 3 of each different series. 3 Macross kits, 3 Gundam kits, 3 Zoids kits, and 3 Armored Core kits for my display cabinet.
Yeah.
They don't have 3 different Zoids too, so that's also something else. Plus resin kits. I still have tons of option parts left. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with.
Because they come with a pretty nice loadout, don't they?
Yeah, it's pretty insane the amount of stuff they come with.
Very customizable.
Most people aren't really doing custom builds, I noticed. A lot of people like to paint or snap kits, in most groups at least.
Huh.
I have a huge box full of option parts. You can probably go through them on the stream.
That'd be cool. Oh yeah.
Got pieces
Always
like
good.
these.
Good fodder for another KitBash, man, for sure.
I don't know where these pieces are from. Some shield bit or something. Got frame gun pieces, armor sets. Just random things that can be put together.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the new Gundam movie?
Yeah.
Got a pair of revolvers here too. It was weird. It was a weird movie. Got a pair of hand sets too.
Which movie was that?
The Gundam Island movie.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
Andrew, you seem like the kind of guy that would know about Rob Zombie's new iteration of the Munsters, yeah?
Yeah. Yep, I've heard about it.
What?
Looks pretty good. Some of the pictures I've seen.
Yeah,
What is that
it's
supposed to be?
yeah, Rob Zombie's basically come out with his own version of the Munsters. Only it's because it's Rob Zombie, it's gonna be a lot darker than the original was.
Right,
That's for
right.
damn sure.
Much more oriented for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a more mature audience.
Well, I did this too. I think you can see that. I'm trying to get that tip to be sharper. Just so it's, I think this is some kind of, how do you say, it's a pile driver. That's for sure. I think a physical pile driver. I think it's an energy-based one, actually. I think the idea was it was an energy-based pile driving lance. So I think it charges with electrical energy, then on impact it releases, but also physical force too.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I'm interested to see where Rob Zombie's gonna take that Monsters.
From what I have read and gathered, that he's definitely doing a lot to keep it very classic, you know, and do right because it's one of his favorites. But it is definitely going to have a special twist to it.
Yeah. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've listened to his music ever since I was a teenager, before, you know, even back
Me
when
too.
it was White Zombie, right?
White
So
Zombie, baby.
yeah, so but he's always like his stage shows and stuff like that have always been pretty intense. Um, I don't know if you've ever seen him live or not, but it's
No,
yeah, he's definitely one of those bands that if you're gonna see somebody live, yeah, that's a good one to go see live.
right on.
Like music for me is a big thing too, and I'm a big fan of, you know, rock and heavy metal. Um,
Yeah, like you know, I mean, I use that grossly when I said heavy metal, but like you know, crazy like death metal music, it's just not my thing.
no, and it, you know what, it's got its time and its place, and sometimes I can deal with it, and other times I'm like, nope, too heavy, too much.
You know?
Rob Zombie makes horror films.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you. Not only do his music videos traumatize me, but his movies are satire, and I thought they bored me actually. Now I think about it, I tried to
Dark,
like it.
dark.
They're pretty dark.
I tried to like it.
Yeah, I like his movies, House of a Thousand Corpses and all that. Yeah, I like Rob Zombie. He's a very interesting individual.
I'm gonna be the first one to admit that not necessarily is it gonna be everybody's cup of tea.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
you know,
yep.
some people they're cool with it, other people they're not, and that's totally fine. Um,
I just found this out. I found two hard mounts for the blade. This is the tail skeleton frame, and
oh,
these
nice.
blades are actually mount to multiple pieces, so they can be mounted to the tails for weaponry also. It folds down,
That's
but you
cool.
can also put them on the side of the legs too for the feet. If you want to have an extra weapon binder for one of the toes here,
Yeah.
you can easily put it onto the outside, sort of like this right here. So you can have this fold down to a front of the foot. It's not bad. I don't think it's terrible. And I just made these two blades with the hole drilled out and two pegs on the underside, kind of like that.
Right on.
So you can put them on the hands, on the backpack, or on the legs, or the tail. I think it works pretty well. I sound like a cat. So you guys play any video games?
Yeah.
What do you play?
Red Dead Redemption. I play SnowRunner.
You play online
World,
for that?
World of Warship. And War Thunder and Enlisted.
I want to play Battlefield again. My favorite thing to do was blow up people's vehicles. That was the best thing. I'm talking about setting a mine on the vehicle, let them drive off, then blow it. That's the
Makes me
best
so
part.
mad. I bet.
Wait 45 minutes for that one guy to come by and just take the vehicle out the middle of nowhere. They spawn next to their own vehicles, by the way. So they just randomly drive off with a mine attached to the bottom and just blows.
Nice.
I'm a bad person when I play video games online. It was fun.
Nah.
Fun stuff.
I ha-
It is. No, I
I
get it.
I haven't played online stuff in a long time. Um, the last time I was playing online games was probably about 12 years ago, and I was playing World of Warcraft at the time, and yeah, I kind of gave that up, and I periodically play video games now, but I mean it's just on my PlayStation, and it's
Yeah, yeah. So what do you guys think about the what is it called? Tide Pod Challenge?
oh god.
The what?
Tide Pod Challenge.
Oh no, I'm not into that shit.
My whole thing is that's a Darwin Award in the making, and let this one play itself out.
But the
Yep.
kids learned a new game. It was called Cotton Candy in the Wall.
Wow.
They'd eat that for a living.
Yeah.
They were
I'm just worried
actually
about
eating it.
our country's future, that kind of shit.
Unfortunately, I'm the guy who brought up the whole, if your kid has a peanut allergy, don't get too attached.
Right. Wait, I hear some lady screaming, "Drink bleach."
Yeah.
Drink bleach, yeah. All right, just drink some bleach.
It's kind of like Mr. Trump saying, just at the beginning of the COVID thing, he's like, oh, just inject yourself with some Mr. Clean, you'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
And it was that whole thing, of, wait a minute, let's just let this play out a little bit here, like.
And they actually did it.
Yes, and there were people who actually did this, and it's like,
Of course
yeah,
there are. What do you expect?
I don't expect that.
I mean, that's like a backfire on reverse psychology for that one.
Right.
Wait a minute. So that was real. I forgot about that. That's amazing.
yeah. There's that dark, twisted side of me that says, oh, you're dumb enough to eat a Tide Pod? Yeah, you deserve what's coming.
Well, eat a couple more.
Oh. Yeah, what about the school that accidentally served floor cleaner? It looked like milk. It was clear white school.
There's no
The kids,
way that was an accident.
you saw that story? I read that story too. I was like drinking coffee. I read it.
Crazy. I just yeah, like a mistake. But
I don't know.
This is the late night show, apparently.
Yeah, we're past the 3 hour mark, so we're now into the adult time of the show. Things take a bit of a darker turn. I personally, maybe it's because I've spent so many years working around heavy equipment and working around trades and stuff like that. Like, if you can't identify something, you don't put it in your mouth. Right? Like,
right.
Oh, like a 5-year-old kid kind of deal.
Yep.
yeah,
The
like,
military taught me never stick your fingers nowhere you wouldn't stick your dick.
yeah, that too.
Keep your fingers on your hand.
And like in an auto shop, working in the shops, and you can tell the difference between different types of oil just by rubbing it on your fingers, right? Like, these are things that you start to learn. And I'm
Am I
sorry.
the only one that knows the difference between the smell?
Well, and the smell.
Yeah.
But it's like, I can tell the difference between 10W30 and 5W30 just by rubbing it on my fingers, right? Just the difference in the viscosity of the oil. I know the difference.
Whose car they came from? You could find that one out real
He was
quick.
Colonel Mustard.
So for these people who are like, oh, this entire school drank a bunch of cleaner when they thought it was milk. I'm sorry, on what fucking planet did milk ever smell like that?
Right. Or come out of the closet that came out of, dumbasses.
I just don't know.
So I mean, I don't know if there's any truth to it or
What about
not.
the Facebook posting guy that went and did that school thing? He posted the Facebook before he went to school. What about that guy?
Yeah.
What?
Huh?
I don't know. I didn't hear anything. What?
Oh, the guy that posted on Facebook that went to school.
No idea. I did not see that. Or hear that.
Never mind. I think I finally got this done. It's sharp enough, almost.
Yeah, I like I said, I know some people may find that my view on things kind of callous when it's like, oh, these kids ate Tide Pods and they survived. Fuck.
I would ask the parents what they were doing at the time, honestly.
Well,
You can't watch your
Down
kids.
the crack of your mama's ass and ended up as a brown stain on the mattress.
Oh, no. It'd be more than a brown stain. It'll be you throwing up all over the place, too.
Did your parents have any children that lived?
yeah, and then that's when, and I mean,